Ali Sadiq.
I gotta have a job.
Nah, man, I'm telling you, hire a high schooler when you're going on all these trips, and then you could just like talk about black radio.
For Pepsi. Now,
Yeah.
That
Ooh,
But that was years ago.
you jump ship? That's crazy.
That's what I said.
Not when Coke's paying more. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I know that's right.
I remember Dave Chappelle did the joke. He was like, I work for Coke and Pepsi. Tell you the truth. Can't tell the difference.
No, but
I just know. I just know Pepsi tastes better because they paid me recently.
Yeah.
that's how it be for some
That's
people.
how it be.
That's how it be.
That's how it be. That's how it be.
Well, but there is a difference though. Like you're tuning into the Black Pew Podcast. Everybody's in here. We're about to get started. You can tell the difference. Pepsi is smoother. It's sweeter.
It's sweeter.
I
It's
think
sweeter.
Pepsi got a more of a kick to it.
I
Coke
don't
does.
like
Well,
the taste.
Coke is
Regardless.
super sharp. Coke is sharp,
Yeah. But it goes flat fast.
but it goes flat faster.
And
Pepsi,
Pepsi, got
Pepsi
more
definitely
of a-
lasts longer.
It got more of
But
a
it's
bite
gross.
to
yeah.
it.
But you know,
Dr. Pepper is the
You're
best.
but you,
I drink it in small
Dr.
doses.
Pepper has
I can't
Let
do
me just
Pepsi.
prune
It's never
juice
my
in it.
first choice.
Dr.
That's
Pepper,
probably why
I
it
can't
makes
drink
me-
it. That shit makes my jaws clench.
It gets you right in that.
Hey, wait,
drinking that
they got
shit,
ready.
you're
They got
like,
Ready
God
Rock inside of Dr.
damn,
Pepper.
What is it?
If
What
you-
they putting in this?
if
shit?
you want
It
to have a
got
good
cocaine
time,
in
if
it.
you want to have a good time and kind of shock yourself, look at the acidic level of
Like,
all pop.
76
Why
flavors,
would you
don't
do
it?
that?
I think I like 76 flavors.
We have to do it for our I do SDS like data sheets and stuff like that, and like just spills and stuff like that. We have to know some of the stuff about it, and it's like
Oh, it's like stomach acid.
Is it supposed to have like 76 flavors or something like that? Or isn't it supposed to have a bunch of flavors or something? Dr. Pepper?
no, Dr. Pepper has 30
Or 30 something, right?
30 something flavors.
That's a product. That ain't food. That ain't nothing to consume. That's
Two
crazy.
of them is cocaine and Novocaine. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, no, you
I'm
said
drinking
it
that
give you
shit.
lockjaw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, on some Bobby Brown.
I'm telling you.
God
Yeah.
bless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Why
crazy.
you gotta be Bobby Brown?
No, my bad. Forgive me. God
Yeah, I
bless
wanna
y'all.
get high.
No, that was just back in the day.
Poor
That's
guy.
not you.
wanna
Currently,
get high,
God
start
bless
taking
you.
Dr. Pepper up the nose.
Yeah, let's listen. God bless you.
We got a guest in here. Tell us your name.
Michael Adams.
Michael is in the building.
Michael.
Welcome
doing?
to the Black Pew. It's
Go
a
ahead
bunch of
Go ahead and tell us more about your nonprofit.
Nonprofit in Snohomish County, Change the Narrative. Started in 2020 after the death of George Floyd. I got called the N-word out in rural Snohomish County. So just got on Facebook, started having some uncomfortable conversations and trying to cultivate community relationships. So
it's Snohomish County.
Snohomish
That's
County, yeah.
that's work.
That's work.
Wow. And
I commend
That's
you.
work.
that's right. And there's something big that we're working on too, but we're not gonna reveal that yet. We will when the time comes.
Lotion for the feet.
Cool.
Dope, yeah.
When the time comes, we'll share it.
Don't
Yeah.
hit on my. What'd you say?
I said when the time comes, we'll share it.
We're gonna get into this. We always have a question at the top. We gotta do one question since Kendra was super
See, yeah, I know.
Light-
I told you they
light
about to
skin
get
late
up.
in March.
Lights get late, like text messaging, like, hey, how are you doing? It's 6 weeks.
Y'all
I
see?
died.
Hold on.
I
Y'all
died.
see what I said? We said y'all close. What was my time?
Yeah.
No, what's funny is she asked for the address and he sent it right away. So she's had it for like 4 hours. It's not like she didn't know. It's not like she didn't Google it way before she needed to
As soon
leave.
as I see the emojis from Marv, I was like, oh, Lord.
I was sitting at the
God
crib.
bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
He was
I was
still
sitting
at
at the
home.
crib.
Like,
I was like, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I
knew.
could have not picked you up at all.
No, no time out. But I wasn't gonna be like.
Yeah, because
You
you're getting
know
a
what it
favor.
is, you
Yeah,
know
you're
what I'm
getting. Yeah,
saying?
you get.
I wasn't gonna put it on like. I was gonna be like, you know what it is.
Yo, he kept
like,
solidarity.
So I was like,
Say
you know, emojis. I knew the emojis knew that you knew what it was.
she responded before I saw it. So I was just like, oh, I'm gonna pick her up. I was just like,
Yeah, no.
That's when you know.
Hey, you know what I was saying?
Really, Trey?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
You
know.
guys are
The
foul.
funny part about it is, I know you thought that when she said she was gonna pick me up. So when 5 o'clock came, when 5:18 came, and you're asking if we're close, I'm like, That's why I'm like, you already, come on, bro.
Why
We know if I was driving myself when I
you
would
would
be
have
here.
been here by now?
So like,
Oh,
come
man.
on,
Because
bro.
usually you beat me here.
Yeah, I'm
Most
saying,
of the
come
time
on,
you
yeah,
beat
yeah.
me or you're not far
So-
behind me.
Okay.
Whatever.
I know, I mean,
Listen, you're a busy woman. It's cool.
She
Okay,
is.
so
Let me be honest. I was busy and I fell asleep.
Okay.
So that's why I was
It's
late.
cool. It's cool. It's cool.
I
but
was,
the-
and I'm not driving.
the
So-
question.
Now she tells the truth.
Now she tells the truth.
At first she said,
Now-
the GPS took me out the way.
No, the GPS.
I
The GPS
in what
did,
I
right?
got.
Hey, hey,
She be
no.
using Waze.
I do not
I be
blame
using.
you.
I be using
You
Google
take
Maps.
no blame.
We did reuse it, and it took us hella off like some
So
random.
here's the thing about
far-ass
pull-up
highway.
addresses. Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
said
took us, like-
sometimes they do have you going all over the because it was.
I was
it
like,
Is it
what
court
is
south?
this?
Is it court southeast or court
Because,
southwest?
yeah,
Because that's
those
8 miles
pull-up
away.
addresses be
That's
mad
8 miles
funny
away. Yeah.
sometimes, but also.
I feel like that's. I feel like
I was
that's.
like,
a-
what is
that's
this?
a
She was
wild-
using Google Maps. That's what's wrong with Android phones. You know what I'm saying?
First of
Oh,
all,
chill, chill. Yo, I feel attacked.
But I didn't know she
Right.
I thought this was on Kendra. This was not supposed to be on me.
we can only attack Kendra.
You know,
Now it's on me.
that's the new racism. Apple versus Android. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Y'all Android niggas.
It wasn't even my phone.
Oh,
it was
that's
Michael's.
funny. That's
I'm-
funny. That's
I'm Apple,
funny.
but I mean, I got that. I didn't get that.
Is this gonna affect the
Yeah, no,
collaboration?
I know.
You didn't get that.
Hey, Chase
Shut
out.
up, you guys are
No shade. You know what I'm saying? No shade going that way. Sorry for the little shade that went this way.
Okay, I
But
got
none
you, I
over
got
here
you.
though.
Because we all know you late all the time. So
Yeah, yeah, no, that's cool.
Okay,
That's
so
a character.
here's a question.
it's fine.
It's a wizard that asks us these questions. 'Cause
Yes,
another-
yes, we don't
yeah.
know, yeah.
And so
All right.
the wizard comes and says, "You can have $1 billion,
Mm.
but you have to give up either an eye, an arm, or a leg."
Or you got to ride with Kendra to all your appointments.
I would.
You have to get. Well, you have to give up. You have to give up an eye,
eye?
and you can't correct it. You have to
Can't
give up
correct
a leg, and you cannot balance yourself out.
Can't balance yourself out.
Or you have to give up an arm, and you never could use any that side of your body again.
So you couldn't get like a glass
Can't
eye
get like
like
No,
Freddie
can't
Rock?
get a glass
Can't
eye.
get no correction. It just
Can't
is
get a
what it
glass
is.
eye. It's a hole.
It's an easy.
It's a
answer.
Could you get an eye patch like Slick Rick?
Nope.
No, wait, no Slick Rick. All right.
Nope.
Could you at least wear sunglasses?
Nope. You cannot
What?
cover. You
I mean,
cannot
but
cover
what's
anything.
the? what
Okay,
are we-
so
what
now
are
if
we
I
doing
now my
with
now my
this
arm,
no
do I
eye
just get a
arm?
quarterized like a little pit
You
there?
just have your just have the nub.
You just it literally is off.
Okay, can I say
So
something?
you're
Just-
unbalanced.
So you just out here just.
yeah,
I'll
you
take
just
the
out
one
here.
arm.
You can. I mean,
I'll take the one
and
arm.
I'm thinking
I
honestly.
think I
I'm-
kind of
I'm
want to go there.
Most
I'll go
like
with
yeah,
one
you can
arm.
take the left. I mean, I'm right-handed,
You can take my
Uh-huh.
eye. It's cool.
and I like to see the things.
Yeah, but then you got flies and shit that could be flying up in there. and
What
shit.
up? What it do, man cave? Okay, I respect it.
I'm gonna get more attention with the left eye missing than with the arm.
Oh,
And I
left
like a whole
eye.
bunch
I
of
respect it.
attention.
I'm a billionaire. I'm gonna get attention regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah,
I'll pull up.
baby.
I'll pull up in a Lambo with one
I-
arm.
okay,
It
so-
don't make no difference.
I
Yeah,
like-
no, you can have my left
I can
arm. You
drive
walk
with
in
one
the
arm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
If I'm missing an eye, I can't. I have to have a driver, so that's an
Because you
additional
gotta-
expense.
You can't look over that.
There's no
Whatever eye
provisional,
that is,
right.
you can't
True.
look over
You
that
can't
side.
look over that side, so someone can sneak you too. That's
Yeah.
different.
True.
So I'm definitely going with the one arm gone, $1 billion, and I'm gonna pay somebody to do everything for me on that side.
On that
I'm like,
side.
You could
yeah.
pay somebody to drive. for
yeah,
you,
yeah.
too.
No. But then it's like I can't go anywhere. I have to ride a bike. I don't
I'm-
have depth.
I'm-
My depth
I'm-
perception's off. It's all kind of crazy stuff.
It makes you way more codependent without the
Without the
eye.
eye, exactly. I feel like the arm.
I feel like
can
the
do.
arm you could
Yo,
adjust to.
homeboy be dunking on niggas.
Yeah, that's why.
with the
That's why.
arm,
That's
yeah.
the reason why I said one
One
arm.
arm, okay,
because I'm
yeah.
like Hansel bros out there.
He's over here
He
killing.
playing basketball with everybody with two arms. They still can't guard
They
him.
still
So
can't
I'm
guard him.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think I want my eye, my arm, and my leg. I will take no money.
Just take the
You're
money.
wild.
I
You can
think
take my
I
left hand.
need.
I'm a sound
all
way
of
more
those
artist than you though.
You gotta-
I got $1 billion.
You gotta pick one.
Guess
you
what?
gotta pick one.
I'll be his assistant doing these things for him then, with all my motherfucking
You gotta pick
limbs.
one,
Okay.
I have to?
or you
Yeah.
go to hell.
Wait.
Really?
Not hell. That's so
Right. Not hell.
So deep.
No.
Okay. So which one? Which one?
Just play.
Which
you
one
can
we
do
doing?
so much. You can do so much with $1
Fine,
billion.
the
Like you can
left
help the
arm
Black
then.
Church. You
Yes.
can start a bank. You could.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can start
Right.
a hospital. You can start schools. You know
But
what I'm
But I
saying?
think that
and
I
still
would.
got some change left over. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
A lot of
that I
change.
would suffer more without an arm, a leg, or an eye. Like I want to remove that trauma.
You see how easy you
got
just
a
did that
billion
with your right
reasons not
arm?
to
You didn't
say
even
that.
use your left arm.
Yeah, but
you
think
can get
about-
rid of the arm.
That's why I
Think
said
about
if I had to, I guess I do my left arm.
Oh, okay, I got
but,
you. Okay,
yeah.
that's.
At the
I'm
end of the
just
day, I
saying.
want all my
I say,
stuff.
think about the sacrifice that you would have to make. How many more people you can help by making that small sacrifice?
Listen, I helped you to come here,
And
I
you
know
coulda did that with
made-
one
made-
arm.
made fun of.
You could have did that with one arm.
I mean, but you
We
didn't.
coulda been a
Hold on,
Bugatti.
time out.
Mark could have been a Bugatti. He could have been a Bugatti.
Time out.
But he
The only
wasn't.
person,
Yeah.
the only person who made sacrifice in that was
Was
me.
me.
No, because
Was me.
I'm never late, and so now I had to sacrifice. I had to sacrifice being late to get a ride.
Wow.
My
And I
reputation.
can't leave when I'm ready to leave. And I
My
gotta
reputation.
stay with you the whole time.
Yeah.
He said my
you
reputation
were
was
saying
put on
you
the
I'm not
line.
sacrificing that. I did, yeah. I sacrificed my freedom.
He said my freedom.
Because now I'm here.
In the future, I
At
won't
one
be
time.
offering.
At
to
one
pick
time.
him
No,
up
it's cool.
again.
No, chase out. I ain't mad. It's
and,
just we all made sacrifices.
We're just joking.
Yeah.
Because
We
we
love
knew
you.
we knew you were gonna be late anyway.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
But
Oh,
you
yeah, when
always,
I saw the text, I was
regardless
like,
on the
that's
mic was
gonna be
here.
late.
Regardless on the mic,
Hold on.
regardless on the mic was
Why
here,
didn't you
Mike.
pick him up?
That's why it's not on you.
Oh,
Regardless
no,
on if
we
you was
next
here,
time.
she would have been late.
But I got to
to
think
do.
though. I got to say there has
We're
to be
busy
a
today.
pattern of behavior because
It-
if you can have
Yeah, you
communication.
about to ruin
through-
your collaboration yourself.
if you can communicate through emojis, you already know it.
If he seen the group chat, he seen the group chat. He just seen no other words.
No other words.
Just
Just
like
it just
what's understood
Listen,
need to be
I-
said.
Oh, just like you guys all attending yesterday.
In the balance,
attended what
in the
yesterday?
balance. No, the spirit.
Hold on.
No, the spirit of bad
Right.
cars. Listen,
Hold on.
the spirit
But
of
we
bad
didn't
cars have been
attend.
hitting
Why?
us.
Oh, there's excuses for
No,
you
no, there's a
guys.
spirit of
Oh,
bad cars
okay.
because it happened to Marv.
Justify.
you seen my car.
Well,
I
actually,
did.
you need
So
to
what
tell
do
me
you-
afterwards.
And I should have.
afterwards.
I
And
should have
what
watched.
do you think I was
drove
gonna
past
go?
What
them.
happened to your car?
What
Oh,
happened
man,
yesterday?
I was
What
tired.
happened?
Bad.
Yeah,
though,
what happened?
Because I was about to ask you, because I was like, yo, you just got your piece. Like my joint, we had, because I actually had to make it up there
to
with
the house. Yeah.
Did you
So good.
Night, I have to go order the part. The part's gonna take like 2 weeks to order.
Oh,
So
What did
Okay,
y'all miss yesterday
yeah.
that she was talking about?
It was a comedy show. We
Oh.
had
Yeah,
said
yeah,
were
we were
going.
trying to get
I,
up there.
I was working.
But when I
like
heard
that.
Marv
But
part,
I
I
was
was
in
like,
the
dang, this
I was
is
in
Girl,
bad
you
shape.
didn't see any
I
of
was
my
in bad
stuff in the
shape
group
already,
chat? Like,
man. I had a
for
wild
weeks now,
weekend.
I've
I was
been
bad
Let's
shape.
be clear. That group chat be on D&D half the time.
Really?
Yeah.
'Cause
I
she-
love
I do
y'all, but
not
I be
put it on-
busy.
I be busy
I do too,
but I
y'all.
just,
See, I'm.
I just keep my
Yeah.
notifications
She
off
was
and
like,
I go
I'm
and look
gonna
at
do
it.
I look
Go
at the
scroll,
stuff.
see how
I look
I
at the
don't
stuff
I
that
don't-
people
I don't
be
have-
sending. Like,
I don't have
share.
multiple group chats, so that's the only one that I have. So I don't like put it on
No,
D&D. But I know some people have like group chats, like, girl,
I don't put it.
he
on,
had a bunion on his, you know.
I don't
that
put it
kind
on
of
D
I
and
don't
D,
put
but
it on
I
D&D either.
I mean,
But
I
I
love
only
y'all,
respond,
but also,
like,
y'all, when y'all start
sparingly.
going back and forth, I'm just like, okay,
Well,
D&D for
I
24
I just keep it
hours.
on no
It's just-
notifications.
I just watch when people share certain content
Yeah.
to
Okay.
go look
It's
into
me.
it.
I never
look
see
at
it.
it when I'm
Okay,
on.
second question.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Second question.
So I know we got off.
Wizard comes, drops you in an airplane.
Mhm.
There is full. It's 300 people.
Okay.
If you do not do this, everyone will die.
Oh, great.
You have to pick one.
Okay, this got
You have to
deep.
pick one.
Yeah.
Get the plane to flight level or land the plane. So either get the plane to flight
Okay.
or get the plane to land. Which one you picking?
Land
I'm landing. That's
Landed too,
Land.
that's
all day.
With no knowledge, no nothing.
shit. I'm
Yes, because
sorry.
most of these planes are ran by pretty much computers, and we
Yeah.
got flight control.
Yeah.
And I played a lot of games
Yeah,
too.
You got the
So-
you got the
games.
control tower to
He said,
walk you
"I
all the
played a
way
lot
through
of
that
games."
thing. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. So what you
feel way
do
more
is-
comfortable messing up coming down than
Yeah.
I do going up.
But
Yeah.
messing up coming down, you risk hitting
Everything.
everything on the ground.
It's
Meanwhile, messing
cool.
up, going up, ain't nothing there but us.
They got the air. They got the mask. Worst case scenario. I'll line. Listen, have you seen
Not
flight?
if it hits the
have you seen
top and
Flight-
explodes.
Either you could end up
You're
like
so
Denzel
you're so
in Flight,
pessimistic. Yeah,
You
exactly.
can
Flight.
end up like
Exactly.
Denzel in
Denzel in
Flight,
flight.
or you could end up like Captain Sully and land that thing. Like you- and you
I'm
save
putting
all these
cases
people.
on all you.
I think I'm gonna say flight.
I'm trying to be Denzel
Because
on
if
Flight.
you don't get
Can we
it up
turn
in
that thing
flight, you ain't
upside
know.
down?
Exactly.
I
He was on Jack. He was on Jack and Coke, and he was
Yeah.
out here
Tell me
doing
how
the
to
same
land it.
thing.
Yeah.
I can do that if he could do that.
If he could do that on Jack and Coke, I could do that
I
sober.
could do that sober.
I think I'm gonna do flight.
But he had experience.
y'all.
He had
I don't
experience
got
and
it.
he was faded.
Yes, but I seen
He was
the
off
movie,
that.
so I know. I know now what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
got a crash course. in
Yeah,
learning.
I've seen what
I
to do.
would
I don't like
I would
the
take-
crash.
I would take off. I would take off.
I'm thinking takeoff
Because
because I'd be too afraid I'd hit everything.
You want to take off and you still gotta land.
Well,
Now I
no,
have to
no,
talk to
no,
somebody. I've reached
You
dispatch.
just have to
and
get
gotta
it
talk
up
me through it.
to cruising point. You don't have to land
Okay,
it.
so then
For
what happens
landing,
after that?
y'all
When the
got to
flight
get-
attendant-
Yeah, but then what?
Hey, so-
When does the plane land? It has to eventually land, right?
Yeah, but
here's-
that's
right.
not on you. The wizard comes and takes you up and say, "Oh, you did good."
But right, but
With
even-
y'all
but
got
what
to
if
get
you
down to the
attempt it?
ground. Y'all got to get to.
I
All we
don't
gotta
know
do
how
is-
that.
thrust works in
Right,
certain
so-
conditions. And
But
all that
like
kind
he
of stuff.
said, if I can get it
land
up
that
and I can
piece.
get it cruised, now I can call the closest the closest whomever. I can talk to someone that can tell me how to get it land. And now I have gained some information. If the first thing I'm going to do is try to land,
I'm
it, when
hitting
I have
turbulence. I'm going up. There's
I'm
all
trying to
kind
be-
of stuff that I'm
I'm
hitting.
trying to be a,
agree with
I'm trying to be a
like-
folklore. You know what I'm
I
saying?
be-
I want people to be talking about
I wanna
me.
be
You know what I'm saying?
talked
Like,
about.
I was about to say, if I
what?
landed,
Get up and
people
come.
gonna be out
All
there
he
with
did
red
was
carpet.
fly up
And this is
got
how I'm gonna
toasted.
talk. I'm like,
Like,
ladies
nah.
and gentlemen, you are on Spirit Airlines, and I'm going to be landing you. You might feel a little bit of turbulence, but we're
A
going to
lot of
actually land this plane to make sure
You
that
might
you
feel
guys
all
are
the
comfortable.
turbulence.
Exactly. You might feel all the turbulence, but instead of me going up in the air at 40,000 feet, I'm going to go down. God bless you. It's been real, but not
Yeah.
real cool. All right, that's how I'm going
But
to
you
hit.
can you just attempt, like if you were to try to take off, and if you
I can
really
imagine.
can't,
No, see,
like, is
no,
that
See, here's
Because
that's
then you
that's-
change your mind and be like,
That's why
like,
no,
I
see,
can't do
I
that.
was also flown in a plane and flown a plane before.
That's
Yeah.
why I would. That's why I would take off because
same here.
if you mess up the takeoff, you at least could break the wheels and just skirt over.
Yeah.
Skirt to what's the name?
Okay, can you tell Aaliyah's crew that?
ooh, why would you do that?
I know.
Because I don't
They
think that's
were
how it
in-
works.
Man, I
They
thought
were
got real
in
deep.
a. I know they were.
Yo, Marv, don't do that to me. I need your support.
Lord, you don't tell by yourself.
That was my baby, girl. That was my baby girl.
No,
bro.
but that's
That
what
was my
happened.
baby
You're
girl.
talking about taking a takeoff. No, I would
I
rather
know,
land that
I
piece.
know.
But they
I
were in a.
know.
They were in a.
I hear what you saying.
I was waiting.
They were in a heavy small.
So, which
plane.
is why I said I would rather
This
you
is-
go. I would rather. So let's say if we're in there and let's say things aren't kosher, right? Let's say you got two engines, right? If you have two engines, you can still land a plane. You can't climb. So this is why I'm saying if we land the plane, we can land it. But getting
I'm
up
landing the
somewhere,
plane.
I'm landing.
I'm landing.
So we
landing,
got-
I'm getting off.
So we had 3 lanes.
Thank
Oh, it's
you.
3 and 3.
I think I'm gonna try to take off.
Yes,
I
feel like
it's so
ready to
funny.
take off as
I'm
well.
take off. Yeah.
Okay, Migos.
So we got 3 takeoffs.
I'm trying to offset.
Dip in the force
Why?
Okay, we're gonna get to these topics. The first topic is they bailed out another bank this past week.
Bro,
That's what they do.
bro.
They bailed out SVB Bank, Silicon Valley Bank. Was it the tune? What was it?
Silvergate was a
No,
Silver
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley Bank, but there was another one
There
that was
was
called
another one,
Silvergate, I think.
Yeah.
Silver something.
Are we shocked?
No,
Well, I think we're shocked that
how much? It was the
the amount and what we're not I think-
second largest bailout
Yeah.
ever in history,
and what happened was the
and who
bank-
they were lending to. Sorry.
who they were
Bad
lending who they were lending to.
lending.
They were lending to startups and venture capitalists.
And I think they were selling bonds at low rates and stuff like
And,
that.
and the bonds, the maturity rate of the bonds. So basically, what happened was it was the accounting thing. So because the bonds had to be, they had to wait till maturities, they didn't show up on the accounting sheet. So they were investing all their stuff into something that couldn't really be turned over really quickly.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that was wrong with them was that the interest rates were what they were. They were lending to mad startups, which it's a startup.
Yeah, that was a big problem.
And they
all the startup investors.
They were investing more of the money, and they were and then they came to the people and was like, "Hey, hold up, we're giving away, we're lending more than we actually have, and then now we're in a point where it's red light, and they had repealed
2020.
But you don't-
Yeah, 2020.
in
Yeah.
2018 they repealed the Dodd-Frank, a part of the Dodd-Frank that said
Your reserves.
your reserves have to be a certain point.
It's at zero now.
They take it down because that's how we got into 2008.
Yeah.
And they took it back, and when Trump was in there in 18, they were like, we don't need this part. And so now some of the safeguards are off. And you know what happens with safeguards come off of stuff.
Yeah. Can I want to say this for the viewers. So can you imagine let's say Marv's right here. He's kicking it. He starts loaning out to homies. He's like, yo, oh man, you got it. Like $1,000 on my people. Like you just have all these relationships and you do that with 10 people and you ain't got no money.
That's wild.
But
that's what they're doing.
But that's what banking is in general.
No, but before
right?
you used to have a reserve.
Yeah.
In 2020,
Yeah.
before 2020, you used to have a reserve. But can you imagine now and be like, she good for it, he good for it, he good for it, and having no money to yourself that if everything goes down, we're like, yo, that's where they're at.
Yeah.
There's 0% reserve as of 2020 because of everything that had happened. And you're lending to startups, which already don't have a track record for doing whatever they're doing. So which is funny because guess what?
My
How hard
problem
is it
is-
for ours?
My problem is
Yeah.
we're giving them money on understanding that they have bad business practices. So
Yeah,
now you're
exactly.
bailing them out now knowing that they have bad business practices. That doesn't make any sense to them.
It was the
100%.
I think it was the cascade
Yeah.
of what it was going to start doing is
Of
why
course.
they kind of like, hey, we got to help save these people because they crashed, another bank crashed, and it was freaking other people out. So
Yeah.
in the morning, the stock market probably
Would have started tanking,
Would've
people,
started tanking, 'cause people-
pensions and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. You know, you think that all this money that they do put into things like banks and stuff like that, and we have all these other issues that we can be focusing on and stuff like that. Like,
Which is why I tell people to be in business, because being in business, you could be a startup, F up, and still get bread back. But when you over here I'm trying to get my little 720 credit score. They don't do nothing for y'all hoes.
but that's not
Yeah.
100% true though. You know what I'm saying?
But-
I mean, certain businesses are getting the kickback. I mean, you're not hearing about the low end guys getting bailouts. You hear about the low end the smaller businesses either striving to become a big business one day or going out of business.
But specifically,
for them.
specifically in the tech sector, when a lot of times we do something, because the two banks that failed were the Silicon Valley Bank,
Yeah.
which they said anywhere from 30 to 50%, is probably was closer to the 50% realm, got loans off the Silicon Valley Bank. That wasn't based purely on the credit. It was like, oh, you have this cool thing. It was a lot
Yeah,
more excitement
No,
in
I
it.
hear what you're saying.
And then now the crypto,
But
crypto one was the other bank that
But
failed.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say, though,
It's-
is that there's these white institutions that can have bad business practices, and then we pay all this money to bail them out. Your small mom and pops, if they can't make it,
100%.
they go
100%.
out of business.
They go out of business,
and there's
yeah.
no bailout system for that yet.
Yeah.
These politicians and everybody, they campaign on small business and trying to make the small business, because that was the cusp of America was small business.
Yeah.
Now you have big corporations taking over and being greedy with the money.
100%.
I mean, we talk about reparations to black people. You can do that. You can invest in education and economic infrastructure and, housing when like redlining and all these things play the issue in these communities, trying to right the wrong. Yeah, we're giving people, privileged people, opportunities to
Hundreds
continue
of
to
billions.
screw up over and over and
Hundreds of
over
billions, yeah.
again. And there's policy with loopholes for them to be able to play it like a video game and say, oh, I ran out of lives. Well, let me just restart the game.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. So when we talked about that wealth being a community-based, a community property, so wealth is not something, like I said, you got the biggest house on a poor block, your house is still not worth as much because you have comps.
Yeah.
So that's why playing those games, because like we had talked this many episodes ago, we talked about the reason why being part of political, the lobbying, all that stuff was important, was because, like you said, these companies don't have a track record of good business, but yet they're getting bailed out at this level because the implications, because
Yeah.
Silicon Valley Bank is like $220 billion in assets, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of their assets I can't even touch.
Yep.
Like
theories.
Yeah,
exactly. It's
ideas.
like
Yeah.
it's like an idea. Like
Yeah.
I spent $200 billion on ideas, not even a house.
Intellectual property.
Look, but
yeah.
because the people who sit in Congress, and because those people, they get to make the decision like, oh, we got to bail this out because too many pensions and too many people. That's why we need to be part of this cycle. We need to be part of these businesses. We need to be the people who are in pensions. We need to be the people in all these other things, instead of us just selling, like I said, nails and lashes and all this other kind of stuff, which is dope. Let's go on to other parts of business and let's be in politics. Let's be in these other things, because guess what? We get to be part of those decisions.
Because
Be part
we
of
need
the
to be
bailout.
on these boards.
We
and
need to be
hey,
on these
hey
boards, yeah.
man,
Yeah.
we shouldn't be lending like this. We shouldn't be like the CEO should not have been able to do some of the things he was doing and letting them run wild with some of this money. And you gotta have, if you have a CEO that likes to bet on a lot of stuff, like that likes to bet on a lot of new things, and you don't have a board that puts somebody in check.
They're acting like philanthropists.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do.
That's what they're acting like. Like they just got this money, this disposable money that they can invest into whatever the fuck is going on, and hopefully it,
like a family friend. It's wild. Like they were out there like, hey, you guys, just chill out. Like imagine doing some business like, hey, just chill out. Don't take your money out. Everything's gonna be okay. That's what they were on.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and
I'm like,
we need your money.
like, listen, chill. It's cool. Like, no.
Like, we actually don't have your money. But
While he's selling mad stocks out here in the back, he like, yo, come get this.
And they're like, oh, it's looking bad. Don't worry about it. We'll get more. There's more where that came from.
I was watching one of the news things, and the senator, when I was like a congressman, he was like, yeah, I got this Zoom at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and I opened it up, and it was them telling, it was the official Zoom of all the senators and congressmen getting alerted to what was happening at that time. And he's just like, yeah, it was just a normal Zoom that.
Yeah, but we don't know how many of those people are invested into something that came out of that.
Did y'all see the CNN
you know
though? With the shorty, she was explaining. She's like, they have some kind of startup, right?
Yeah.
And her business partner, her people, it's like, yo, you might want to start taking your money out the bank on some insider trading type stuff. But we don't be in those rooms to even get those alerts because you knew somebody at the bank who was like, listen, I'm trading and I'm seeing that what's name just sold 20% of their shares. You might want to take your money out the bank.
Like today.
But I'm saying, but you don't even get those calls because we don't
We're
be in those rooms. We're not in those rooms. And that's why I'm saying, like, can you imagine that Martha Stewart got put in prison? It wasn't a great prison. I mean, it was a cool prison.
Disneyland.
It was Disneyland. But at the same time, you got put in prison behind insider trading, and she's out here outwardly talking about it. But because we're about to go into a crash, you're able to talk about that because guess what? Being in those rooms is different.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said, no, we need to play the whole game.
Yeah.
So Amber's, she's helping me write my book. It's called White Supremacy's Winning. Take notes. So,
but that's the thing. We can't play the whole game because they already dominate resources. They already dominate.
But you can improve
this right? And they're not willing to. They're not willing to.
But you can definitely
legislation can pass, and all they'll do is find a loop around or a ring around for them to stay in power.
And instead of me getting blown up by 40 points, I can get blown up by 20 points. So I'm saying we could definitely do better. We could definitely do better.
I hear that.
Yeah. So and that's the main thing. I was like, let's just do better because right now we out here getting shot in the streets and people's going home.
Well, what was crazy is that
that's a whole nother different thing.
I mean, but I'm saying in terms of like that's part of the thing is that it's like one of the factors that we're currently at now is that it's like anything could just happen to us and we don't even really have a voice.
What's crazy
because we don't play any part of the game.
But that's part of infrastructure too. You can't
infrastructure. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I said that's why you play the wealth game.
The Dodd-Frank bill that was supposed to protect our money in these banks playing fast and loose with their funds. The Frank, what is it? What's his name? I get it, but he was a senator. He's the one. His name is on the Dodd-Frank. He went on to work for other banks, and behind the scenes was lobbying. Hey, you should get this part of the bill taken out. This will help you guys free up more money, and you get you guys to do more. And that's what happened when Trump, when he signed that bill, the tax bill in 18 or 17. He was one of the people lobbying behind the scenes to say, "Hey, let's loosen up regulations."
But that's nothing new.
And that
corporations.
It's a game, yeah.
Well, corporations have a big part in how legislation is written. They sit in the rooms with with the senators and congressmen while they write legislations to
Or they
give
hire
them,
them and be like, hey,
exactly.
I was just gonna say they hire them too.
Yeah,
So
they
can
hire
go
'em
back
too.
to
Like-
the-
They pay money in there for a reason. They ain't dummies. Like
Yeah.
what did homie say? It's like they're over here like getting bailed. Like we spent all this money getting bailed out, hundreds of billions, and homie said Mama slipped in the paint playing pickup. She can't. All the working in the world and ain't got crap in the bank. And that's what we play.
Yeah.
Work 80 hours a week to have nothing while they're over here playing games and getting bread.
True. And ain't nobody gonna go to jail for it.
Yep.
But we would.
Yeah, but we would. Yeah.
No, we would. But that's what I was saying. Is like something's better than nothing. We need to definitely start playing at some level because right now we ain't even playing the game. We don't even know the rules.
True.
Yeah.
As a collective too.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
we
we've seen what happened when we play that game.
Yeah.
Gotta do something better. Yeah.
But we can go to
I
this
agree.
next topic. Your girl, she had a banging dress on.
What?
You
Okay, I don't even know
totally
who
get,
you
like, a
were
cartoon
singing.
smile.
Sierra had a.
Ah. Okay. Yeah,
Sierra.
Marv, that's you.
She had her,
Yeah, I was gonna
she had her husband with her.
That's y'all. I ain't got nothing to say about it.
I'm scrolling through Instagram today. Because, I'd be scrolling. And it was a picture of Beyonce's dress for the same event, which, too, was also Ciara.
Mm-hmm.
It was really pretty. I mean, she looked like her own self. She looked amazing in it. And in my mind, I'm just like, if her and other people were all in the same sheer dress, nipples out, whole nine, why is Ciara the only one that got backlash?
Cause she ain't got an album, nigga.
Sierra's dress
I
was.
just, in my mind, I'm like, I don't get it. If that was the theme of the party they were at, what's the big deal?
Sierra's dress wasn't even the worst one. There was the one girl who had a feather
But it's
across her
because-
chest.
It's because
And that's it.
Sierra and Sierra's like the Black Kim K.
Yeah, she's
Because it's like people don't know what she does anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she just dropped a song. not too
No,
long
but
ago.
I
No,
mean,
ain't
that's
nobody
not-
even effing with that song.
Are you
like it.
comparing
But you can
Ciara
drop
and
it.
No,
Beyonce?
I'm saying because don't nobody know
Know what she
people
famous.
know what made her famous.
Right.
People don't know why she's still
famous.
relevant.
Exactly.
She's married
Exactly.
to the
No.
boy. What difference
She's
does it
still
make?
relevant because
No.
she's
No,
Russell
he's
Wilson.
telling the truth. That's why I gave it to Marv.
no,
It's
that-
okay.
I'm arguing that.
That
Yeah.
is not why she. See, what people don't understand is Ciara does a lot of back
Correct.
door, back room work. You know what I'm saying? And so, she's relevant in powerful circles.
yeah.
Yes.
And that's why she moves the way she does.
Right.
She's not like she doesn't use her celebrity to make as like potent music as she used to once more, be on tour, do all those type of things. She's like
why I didn't need to
she's
see
like
nipples.
they're big in education and all those type of things.
I
They
don't
did a
understand
lot of stuff
why
here
she
when
got
they
the
were
backlash.
here, like
I still don't
when
understand why she got the backlash. Like,
No,
and
no,
instead
yeah,
of knowing that
yeah.
stuff,
If you
was
had
like,
an
that's
album-
what I'm
That's what I'm
like, so
saying.
I
why
get-
to
the
me,
backlash?
when I seen it, I didn't understand.
I-
I thought people were just losing their minds.
Just being
I was
dumb.
like, one,
think
who
it's just
cares?
because it's not
Her
the
husband's
norm,
sitting
that's
right
why.
next to her.
Yeah.
And if he's not tripping, why are you tripping?
was my
Because at the end of the day, he the one that's
I
knocking
mean,
those.
even if
You know what
he
I'm
was tripping, we're not gonna know.
Okay.
Like, he's gonna say it to her.
No, I'm pretty
not to the
sure. I'm
world.
pretty sure if
Yeah,
he's
he-
tripping,
he-
I'm
he-
pretty sure if
before
she's
it
tripping,
got
she's
out.
probably not wearing the dress.
But
Or he-
everybody
Yeah,
else
if
was
yeah,
wearing
true,
the
true,
dress.
true, true, true.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if he's tripping,
Or
she's
he
probably
probably-
not wearing the
he-
dress.
he would've just
probably
stayed home.
wouldn't wear
No,
Because
no,
there's
yeah,
an image
exactly.
that they have to upkeep.
But
that
the-
they
but the
already-
thing is-
they
but-
portray.
but the
It's
thing
part
is-
of their branding.
But
now.
apparently, if that was the theme
back-
of the party,
yeah,
then
no, but the backstory is this: he thinks she's fly as crap. Like he even
Definitely.
mentioned it, like, yo, that's what it is. I guess my confusion was, it's like, what did that accomplish? Because I guess that was my thing. Was like, I really don't care too much. Because to be honest, like,
It's
in
a
the
bunch of
grand
people
scheme
who
of
aren't confident in themselves to pull it off.
things-
That's
Th-
what
this
it
thing,
is.
and I'm sure that's what she did it
No,
for.
that's
but,
the
but, no, but I'm
backlash.
saying, but it's like for me, I'm like, let's say Beyonce's wearing the same thing. It's like Beyonce just sold $1,200 tickets.
But
She has a product that's currently on promotion. So that the only reason I was asking was like, was this just to show, hey, I got it?
It's a
And I think that was
theme
my
for a
thing.
Beyonce's
party. They
like
were
a
going to
god.
a party after
No,
the
let's
event
just said it. But
right,
I'm saying
so
is that
it was the theme for the party.
usually if you do something, it's kind of like
There's
you do
no
it
there's-
more.
point.
but there's
Invited
like-
to a
Something
party.
that's going.
But
This
there's
was
like-
the theme.
I think
there's
that's
like-
where it
That's how
came
I
from.
dress.
No, there's-
I'm not saying I care. I was just saying
There's
that's
like-
what it came.
There's like tiers of celebrity.
Yeah,
And Beyonce's on God tier.
yeah, it's
Right.
different. It's a different. Yeah,
It is serious.
it's different. Yeah,
Right.
You don't question God tier.
yeah.
Beyonce could have walked in there butt naked. Nobody
It's
would have
just-
cared.
I guess
Because
from-
it's Beyonce. You'd have been like, oh, she had a reason to come in there. She's making a statement. Ciara on a different end isn't on that level of celebrity with Beyonce. So it's almost
almost
like
like she
you're
was
saying,
fishing.
why is she trying to do the same thing that Beyonce
Exactly.
doing?
That's what it felt
weird
like.
because again, I said we were invited to the same party because we run in the same circles.
Yeah.
Because despite the fact that y'all might like Beyonce more,
Yeah.
I do make music. I did make music. I
Yeah.
still write. I produce. She just did one with Summer
Yeah.
Walker not too long ago.
Yeah.
She just did.
But if I sold 2,000 albums versus 100,000,
but
it
hear
looks
me.
wild.
But I sold enough for me to be at the same party Beyonce is at. Period.
No, because it's him.
No,
It's because of
So
him.
now I'm at this
and
party.
they pit us against each
Right.
other.
And we're at this party, and I'm dressed for the theme. So there's a theme, and I'm dressed for the theme. So how come this?
Dressed? You said dressed?
Yeah.
So now I'm dressed for the theme.
The thing.
So now this woman is a wife
You're
with 3
dying on
children.
that.
It was a
and
dress.
I'm a wife with 3 children. Why am I getting the backlash
Yeah.
that she's not getting? And I guess in my mind, that's
It's
like
because
I was just like,
we put each other.
Right,
That's what
people
media
do.
does. They pit them
And I'm
against
just
each
like,
other,
why
right?
do y'all care so
But
much?
they're not
Well,
the
no.
only
for the
two,
party.
though,
If
too.
it, no, but I'm saying
They're
if
not
it was
the
two,
only two that wore dresses
And they
that
But if
night.
it was
because
white
again,
women-
because
There
it was
was
a thing.
others.
if there
So
were
there
white
were white
women, we
women
would
there that
say.
was dressed like that. There was some bigger plus size women dressed like that in this
Yeah.
year
But if-
because that was the theme for the party. Why do we care?
But if there were white women, we would say who wore it better. We wouldn't say why did. The
Yeah,
one
no,
person
you're
wear
right.
it.
Because there
We
can
would
only be
say
certain a
who wore
nigga.
it better,
There only
you
can
know
be
what I'm
2
saying?
niggas at a
That's
time,
why-
or 1 nigga
that's
at a
the
time.
nasty
Yeah,
part
like,
about
yeah.
it.
Kind
is
of
I
like
feel
the
the
fact
fact that
said-
these people are writing dissertations and think pieces
Yeah.
about she's a
I
mom
think
and she
she's
should
as
never.
wild.
First of all, so was half the other women there.
Yeah.
But
No, you're right. You're right. People were writing dissertations.
We were doing dissertations, and I told y'all that she's only Ruth Wasso and he's a cornball and she wants to really be her future. It was these whole dissertations with literally, I promise
mean,
you, about
Beyonce dresses-
3/4 of the women in that room. were
Beyonce
probably
dresses
wives and
skimpy a lot,
mothers.
especially in her performances. She
Just
doesn't
like that all the
really.
time.
Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah.
And that's what my whole thing was. It's
Yeah.
like, what is the big deal? When all of these women dress scantily all the time. And like I said, 3/4 of the women in that room were all probably mothers
Yeah.
and wives. Why do we care? Why is she the one that got pointed out?
Because
she
Again,
looked-
Because of her
Do it.
husband. Because of who her
Yeah.
husband
Yeah.
is.
They
It's-
can't
it's-
say.
It was like
It's because of
they
who her
see-
husband is.
they
Really
see
what it is.
Beyonce and they
Like
was
Sam
like,
said, there's
"Ooh,
gonna be
Ciara
something that
look
comes up."
bomb in that dress."
Yes,
Look
she
at,
did.
yeah,
Yes,
I
she
was
did.
sitting there like.
Not you having 3 kids and looking
for me, I
amazing.
knew Russell didn't have a problem with it. But if I was Russell, she wouldn't have been able to take that picture by herself. I would have been, you know what I'm saying? Right. What are you
That's
talking
what
about?
it is.
You're gonna be by her side the entire
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
It's a Russell Wilson. That's
Russell
really what it is.
Wilson
Because
Well, kind of like just what you
yeah.
said. There's gonna be something that comes up about Ciara in the future. That's what this is gonna align.
which is
People will
why
be able to
I almost
understand
didn't.
it more.
And this is why I almost didn't want her to. I kind of wanted like, yo, just keep it low for a second, just because. Now that you have this here and people writing dissertations and theses specifically on your dress, it's like now when or if something does happen, they're gonna point back to this thing, and
Yeah.
it's like I really didn't even want that to be the
And
thing.
it's
When
going to be a
like,
whole heap of trouble because they don't know
Exactly.
who Ciara is, right? Like, just
Exactly.
think about that Super Bowl
Exactly.
when her and Russell Wilson are sitting in the press box with Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
Who was talking to Roger Goodell? Not Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Ciara was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Ciara's that person. Like, people don't understand. They look at her as a celebrity.
Which is why I thought it was.
She's that person. Like, so I mean, they could pick the fight if they want to. There ain't gonna be a fight they want to pick.
I
don't think so.
Social media is wild.
We'll see.
I don't think
But
so.
no, people
I'm
were
trying
going.
to
People
tell
were
you.
going
Always a
in.
reason.
They weren't
Always
going
a
in.
I'm trying to tell you.
It's just the social
Passionate
media
discussion around that.
There's different
And
different
that's
type
what
of
threw me, was
celebrities.
The
The
passionate
passionate,
discussion.
yeah.
I'm like, but for what?
I'm like,
There's
listen, I
different types of
got
celebrities.
one comment for you. That's about it. After that, I'm good. Maybe.
I got one.
I
Look
was
good.
trying to-
Look good.
I was trying to figure out why they was calling him a simp. Like,
Because he's
Because
always been
why
seen.
would you
He's
ever
always
let
been seen
your
as
wife
one.
dress like
Yeah,
that.
that,
And
like-
I'm like, because all the other wives are dressed
Yeah.
just
But
like
that's another
that.
problem.
Is Jay-Z a simp? Beyonce literally struts around their little in leotards all the time.
But
But that's
all
a
the
problem.
time.
That's a problem we have in the black community too, and that comes from, let's be real, black men are low earners, especially now, right? And so they're low earners. So being that type of guy, knowing you can't be that type of guy, you're gonna call it out because there's only so many of that type of guy. Like there's 17% of men make over $100,000 in this country, right? You microscope that into the black males, it's probably gonna be like 5%, maybe lower,
Cameron knows
right?
that, I'm sure.
And so no,
It used to be 8%. It's probably 5 now.
no,
but yeah, yeah.
and so
Yeah.
that's real. So a lot of men can't even live up to that standard. So of course you're going to knock that. That's why
So then dissertations come in now.
we did
Yeah.
the same thing
Yeah.
with educated people because we weren't able to educate ourselves. So when people did educate themselves, we looked at them as Uncle Toms because that's what white people did. They were educated. We weren't allowed to be. We could be killed. We could, You know, and so when you see, that's what the nerd, you a square. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
And so the same thing comes in these circles where you see black men who are able to treat to ever give their woman the freedom to be who they are and still be themselves, right? And then you're just like, oh, that dude's a simp because you can't do that because that type of man could come and take your woman from you because of the resources that he have, right? You can't let that. You can't let her go out. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like,
if you can't handle a baddie, don't date one.
No, for real. I was thinking about the other day. I was like, you know, if a girl is out and she shows her body a certain way, I'm not really rocking with her like that because in my mind, I'm like, she can be enticed by somebody with more money because they're going to look at her a certain way. They're going to approach her more likely, right? It puts me in an odd position. I don't want a girl that's going to really rock in that type of situation because I don't want to be put in that position because I might hurt somebody or I might get hurt. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't even rock with it.
Which is why I sometimes that's why you got the one. That's why the question even came into my mind is like, if something happens, this is going to be the thing that's pointed to. And so sometimes, like, you know, you make moves and you're like, was that really something that, though I don't care so much, it's like, man, they're going to point back to that. So if anything goes wrong in their relationship, they're going to point back to it. And I think that's the thing that sucks. And it sucks.
And I don't think so.
Why does this dictate our whole
I
relationship?
really don't. I really don't think so because if you think about
it shouldn't, but it will.
They've both been under the microscope. He played like shit last year.
Sure did.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but he got his bag, though.
No, but it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
When Tony Romo played like that and he was messing with Jessica Rob, whatever, she dumped him immediately. Yeah. As soon as he started playing like shit, it was over. You know what I'm saying? And so what we see is that he's been scrutinized by the media and she's had his back. Right? Yeah. And so what we're seeing also from a Russell Wilson, think about all the stuff they've been through. The future situation with with his son and all that. So they've been through adversity since the beginning of their relationship.
And this could have been a response to like, hey, this is my one way of being free. But my thing is like, I just hope that they're really strong there because, like I said, of anything they're gonna pick out, it's like that girl was naked in the thing and he was cool with it.
But I'm saying, why do we have to hope when they?
No, we shouldn't.
No,
we shouldn't.
Time out. It shouldn't even be a. They've proven to us that they can weather the storm since they've been together. Yeah. Like they've been through a lot of shit. Most celebrity couples don't even go through half of the stuff that they've been through.
No, this thing,
they've been through a lot. Think about it.
I 100% agree with you, but my thing is like the 80% of people who are out there online are looking for the downfall.
Always.
That's what they're looking for.
Yes, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't dictate what they're going to do. That's what I'm trying to say.
My prayer is that
they've been looking for the downfall since he's been dating her with the future situation and him taking care of future son.
Yeah. Like they've been why would you take care of another man's son?
They've been looking. They've been trying to put. Yeah.
Listen. Me and Russell Wilson are kin. Me and Russell Wilson are kin.
So it's like why we shouldn't even be questioning them. We should actually be saying, you know what? If anybody can deal with this, it's gonna be them.
No, this thing, and I'm kin. I'm a cousin to Russell Wilson. I'm the nice nigga. Like so, I get it. Statistically speaking, I'm gonna run into a woman at this age that has a kid by another nigga. Yeah. So it's gonna be a situation, but it's like, but we constantly are looking for.
She's seen the other side.
We're looking at the common. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the failure. Yeah. I've even heard people say that, like, hey, holler back at me when that fails because the statistic is what it is. Mm-hmm. So it's just
but
one
I
of those
don't think
things.
Russell's going to allow that.
No. I hope he doesn't.
Bro, look at him. Yeah. Look at how he's evolved since he's gotten with her. He dressed like a rock star.
He chilling.
He act like a rock star. That's just that since he's made her, he's evolved so much and still stayed in character still. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about what they actually have. We only see we're only going to see the beautiful moments, but at the same time, when you look at their story and the ugly moments in their story that's been publicized, the fact that they are what they're at, and the only thing that we're talking about is her dress at this moment.
No, it's a beautiful thing.
Is amazing. You know what I'm saying? They're not. Her sister's not fighting him in the elevator.
Listen. And the last thing
with the good hair.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing I'll even say about this is Alicia Keys made a song, and all them niggas is deaded. You remember that song, Unbreakable?
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah. Unbreakable. Yeah. Okay. So this would be, and that's why I'm saying this is why I root for black love, is because it's like we don't have a lot of examples, especially in entertainment. And entertainment is the thing that we have the most connection with.
Yeah.
That's why I want to see it go well.
I do think we do. I just think that we nitpick at their failures and not realize that they
Facts.
are
No,
who they
I-
are,
I-
but they're so big and iconic. We're
I
gonna catch
agree,
a
but
lot
as
of
far as
stuff.
that, when all the outlets, like I said, because we gravitate towards negativity as a thing for biology, is like we gravitate to negativity because danger is negativity, so therefore we want to be away from it. We want to be aware of the things that happen, but we didn't realize that in this day and age, though we don't have like a direct connection, we constantly gravitate towards that. So that's why I said that's why I'm rooting for them. I was hoping that this wouldn't be a thing, but I knew that it was going to be something because people are looking for people's downfall. That's
I
what
mean,
they're
we
doing.
got Will and Jada, we got Jay-Z, Beyonce, we got
Yeah.
Russell here. I mean, we have them out there, and
But they're
and
the
they've
only ones
been
that
through-
haven't.
They've been through some stuff. I'm just saying.
I
Regardless
know.
of what you,
Look over there.
no, see, that's the problem is because we all know people who are personally married that have been through some wild shit, but we don't get to see it on TV.
We don't get to see it,
Now,
yeah.
because you've seen it on TV, y'all want to be like, no, those are powerful couples that have withstand more than the people that you know, because the people that you know had to go through what they went through in private. These people have to go through what they go through in public, and they're still together.
And they got money too. Both of them had money.
Well, and I think the Will and Jada thing would not
Oh
have.
Lord.
Would not. Well, here's the thing. It would not have been a thing
If somebody didn't out them,
if
that was not their fault.
if August hadn't tried to capitalize on it, because the women who Will messed with could have done the same thing, but none of them did.
Yes, but nobody
But that's
really.
just because they all signed a.
Nobody really
think
cares.
so.
No way.
Nobody
Yes, they
really.
did.
But the thing is, nobody really
was
cares.
careful.
It was just when you have, because media is such a buzzsaw right now. It just was a news cycle. But everybody knew that about Will and Jada.
they
We
do.
all talked
We all
about
knew.
how they were. So him saying that was like, okay.
It confirmed what was already.
It was like,
stated.
yeah, it was like, okay, well, what we knew. It was
I didn't even
real.
try to pay attention, and I knew.
Well, and she,
Yeah.
well, and Jada's mistake was she tried to turn it into. She turned it into an entanglement. If she had just said it was a short fling.
The biggest mistake was putting it on the red table talking from the beginning.
That also,
Yeah.
because
Because let me tell you something, we wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I don't think it
Right.
was their biggest
So I-
mistake. I think that was smart. That was genius.
I don't
Like
know.
because that's like Kim K doing a sex tape.
It made it a
like
joke.
They didn't navigate those conversations well.
but at the same
That's-
time,
Maybe
I would
that's
agree.
what it
you,
was.
yes,
That's what
you,
it
was.
but because
Conversation
now
I would agree.
you have an issue that a lot of people are dealing with, like infidelity. You know what I'm saying? Open marriages are a big thing now. Like you got a lot of people who are dealing in these spaces and they don't have these platforms that speak to them. Now you have a couple that can actually speak to you in that, and they did that. You know what I'm saying? And it was a hard conversation. And I think a lot of time in the black community, we don't have the tough conversations. We rather bypass that. And so they were having a conversation that most people aren't going to have. You know what I'm saying? Which is big because we need to see that.
But-
We need to see people doing that and having a tough conversation. Say at the end of the day, we can work through this.
And I think, to retract my comment, when Michael had said that they didn't navigate the conversation well, and I was like, no, that's what it was. Because again, we do need to talk about them because first of all, most black people haven't seen healthy marriage at all.
Yeah.
Most of them haven't seen marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
for the less healthy marriage.
Yeah.
And so, not that the conversation did need to be had, but it should have been done better. It shouldn't have been an entanglement. Call the shit what it was. First of all. Second of all, now you got this man looking crazy. So it could have been navigated completely
And
different, and
then-
maybe that's what should have said.
Yeah.
That wasn't their biggest mistake. It was their biggest mistake doing it as soon as they did, in the manner that they did it.
It was like it was
that's
rushed
the-
because it was like
But-
she woke him up and was like,
come on,
"Hey,
babe,
we
we gotta
gotta
go.
do this."
Damage control.
Exactly. That's where I was at with it.
Like
But I
now.
think that's
I was
what we
taking
need-
shots.
I think that's what we
Like,
needed
you know,
to see, though. I think we needed to see it, not doctored, not really well thought out, but we needed to see
Raw
the
and
raw
healthy.
conversation
Raw, healthy
with all the
conversation
with all
is
the
the
I don't think
yes,
that
no,
was
I hear
raw.
even with the mistakes because I think a lot of time. I was listening to the dude who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he also wrote a book said, if you want to be rich, don't go to school. And what he was saying was through school,
saying that for years.
but what he was saying is through school they only reward you on your successes. They don't teach you through your mistakes, and most people have to learn through the mistakes that are
fail
made.
forward.
So if we're telling them to come out and have this perfect conversation, who's really being helped besides their image?
I didn't say perfect, I said healthy.
No, but they're not. But what they're showing us is that they're not what the healthy couple that they always put the image of being, that they're very flawed and that they need that. They need
Flawed
to not be
doesn't
seen.
mean unhealthy.
No. Flawed means that you can be unhealthy, and that you're
But
not
that's
always going to be
everybody.
perfect. We got to realize that everybody does not have the answers to everything, and they have the ability to make mistakes.
Right.
And because both of those people, we've seen them grow up, sometimes we have to give them the ability to make mistakes in front of us and roll with that. And so I hear what you're saying. It should be a healthy conversation. I do appreciate the mistakes that they allowed us to witness, to grow from that as well.
I think not just a healthy conversation. I think it's about the transparency. It seemed like Jada was willing to be a little bit more raw and authentic, where Will.
Not by calling an affair entanglement, and then trying to, because even when you watch it and the way, and I hear what you're saying, raw and transparent, but that's not what she was, and I think that's what
That's
think,
okay. And
I
I
hear what you're saying, but I just
she
think
had
it was a
doctored it
fancy
up.
way
She
of-
had made it sound really, really
No,
pretty.
Yeah,
She had made it sound like it's something that it
That's
wasn't.
exactly why.
That's
we
why
got
I-
to
yeah,
come
that's
on
why I
set.
said
She
it
can
was
have control
unhealthy.
of the
Yeah.
narrative.
that's the
I hear
problem.
that,
That's
but
the only reason why.
But we also know when she says entanglement, we know what she meant. It was just a pretty way of
She
her
makes
saying,
that whole
I had an
thing sound
affair.
extra
I get it.
But
Wasn't.
she could have said, if she had said, if he said, I like a
Everything
shirt,
that nigga said
and
it
she,
was true,
and
and I
then she
apologize.
said, no, I like a collie cotton blend shirt, a collie cotton blend piece of fabric. We're like, wait, hold on, that's just a shirt.
Yeah.
You didn't need to. We didn't need that big old word to describe something that we already knew what it was.
Right.
If we have the full conversation, don't try to.
Stephen A. Smith does it every day.
chill.
Right, and niggas don't like him either.
And they don't like it either.
And niggas don't like him either.
Let's be real. Like, you do it every day.
Yeah.
If you like
Back to
Stephen
the
A.
point,
Smith,
Ciara looked amazing. and I
you're
wish
making
people
a
would stop
point.
picking
But I
on
don't
her.
know what that meant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least we knew what she meant when she used the big word.
Yeah, she-
It was
trying to
like-
paint a narrative
because
of something.
because they were also saying that they were having problems during that time, and that they were
which happens.
somewhat separated, right? The only reason why it's bad, and I think that the thing that they're not talking about is the fact that was her son's friend.
Ooh, 'cause
That's why it was
nasty.
bad.
'Cause
You know
come
what I'm saying?
on,
Now,
plus he was staying at the house.
because let's be real.
whole thing
Let's
was
be real.
wild.
There's a bunch of people who out here that are separated that's getting their boots
Absolutely.
knocked.
Absolutely.
We just
Listen,
don't know
I wasn't
the
even mad that
person.
she did it.
So
I'm
it is.
mad about the way they
This is what I'm
handled it.
saying. This is real. This is what real
Absolutely.
people go through, and I think a lot of times we get closed off from what celebrities go through because we only get to see and we almost don't look at them as real people. And this actually gave us the opportunity to look at them and judge them as real people.
And we did.
That's why we see them the
we
way that they
did.
are. If anybody else would have slapped Chris Rock, it probably wouldn't have been as dissected. But because we got to see their flaws all the way up until that point, it's like, well, damn, you got all this going on, and Will this and that, and the entanglement, and now he got to prove to everybody he hard. Like, it's a very dissected situation. If that didn't happen, then we're just like, oh, well, maybe he crossed the line.
No, you're right. No, listen, he's 100% right, because this is going to be a story. Because right now we're just looking at it, it's like he out here in slave movies. Like, when's we going to be free? Like,
But I think
dissertations on that.
Okay,
instead of Ciara.
This is a good question.
Yeah.
Would you have told them to postpone the movie? Say you will. You've gone through. You can't change any of what you've gone through.
Right.
Would you have told them to postpone emancipation
No.
for a couple of years?
No,
No.
you just slapped the nigga. The world got to see you get your ass.
Yeah,
whooped.
no, yeah,
That's
facts.
just what it
Exactly.
is.
Exactly.
You just
That's
slapped
exactly-
you
that's
just slapped the
exactly-
man on
Yes,
live
listen,
TV.
you
The
had
world
to.
needs to
You
see
had
you get
to.
your ass
They-
whooped. That's
they-
just it.
100%.
You did it. You did it in
100%.
public. You slapped the man in public.
Best
You get
PR
your
that
ass
she
whooped in
could have had.
public.
You
You know
know
what I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying? Best PR.
Yes. Oh my
Yes.
God.
100% PR.
Guess
Yeah.
what?
But next,
Will
we're
Smith.
good. Next.
Will Smith has always been known for saving the world.
You got one more
Right?
topic at 7. I gotta go.
Will Smith has always been known for saving the world. This time, he needed to be known for getting his ass whooped. It was just
Facts.
That's wild.
Oh, I was like, seven,
I agree.
Okay, I get it.
He did. He saved the world from aliens like 5 times. Independence Day, all the men in black. You know what I'm saying?
I am legend. This nigga's is all zombies.
He was last
Niggas is
motherfucker
zombies.
alive and shit.
Yeah, last nigga
He
alive.
saved us from robots and
Exactly.
shit.
That's what I'm saying. I
You know what
robot.
I'm saying?
Yeah, this nigga's always saving
Didn't he
niggas.
save us in
Will,
Japan Man too?
Will Smith.
Probably, yeah.
Will Smith is the only black man to save the world.
Yeah. So he had to get
No other nigga saved the world.
Don't
Eddie
forget
Murphy
about-
saved Beverly Hills.
forget about
That's
Hancock.
all exactly.
You know
This
what I'm
nigga saved the whole world. He saved Beverly Hills.
Luke Cage could only save Harlem.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But Will Smith saved the world.
A
and shit.
bulletproof nigga.
Multiple times.
That's
A
Yo.
couple black people say.
Who?
No. No.
Who?
Mainstream?
No.
A couple black people.
Blank man only
Blank
saved.
man only saved the
Blank
city.
man saved the city.
He
You know what I'm
saved the
saying?
city.
No.
the whole world. Trade.
Meteor Man only saved the city.
Yep.
I brought that one up.
Will Smith, the only black man.
He's the
saved
only
the
black
world.
man that really saved the world.
Wait, hold on. No.
I'm thinking.
No.
I'm thinking. I ain't.
Denzel.
Training
No.
Day.
Denzel saves community.
Yes.
That nigga tried to save himself in Training Day.
Wasn't that his way of saving the world?
Who?
It said Denzel in the Book of Eli. He didn't have to go. He had to go
The
translate.
world was
Bible.
over. He didn't
was
save
over.
nothing. He
Yeah.
saved himself.
Yeah.
The world was
Yeah.
over.
When he had to remember.
He didn't
the
even
Bible,
sacrifice
wrote it
He
down.
didn't even sacrifice.
His only
That-
sacrifice is he
listen,
couldn't see.
I tried.
That nigga was in a Bible beat. That's what he was. He came back and repeated it.
He was a missionary. That was what
He
I'm
said,
saying.
"In the beginning was God. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God."
He had to recreate
But
the whole
that's a
Bible,
close-
save the world.
that's
the
a close
closest-
one.
That's a close
That's a
one.
close
He
one.
ain't
trying to
touching.
give me
He
that
ain't
little half
touching my
point.
man Will Smith. He ain't
Saving
touching
the
him.
world is
He
not
ain't touching
it-
Will Smith,
repro-
but I'm just
repopulating the world is different from saving the world because you can still exist by yourself and the world is still intact.
If it had been,
Saving
if it had
the
been the only
world.
book, if it had been the only book, it would have been.
Okay.
I feel like I get deserve half a point.
Okay.
I
Look,
just
in glory.
deserve
No.
honorable
Let's
mention.
go. No, let's. Can we have this conversation?
Okay.
In glory,
He
he was
into
trying to save.
racism.
Listen. In glory, he was trying to save his feet.
Right.
Okay. In Training Day, he was trying to save himself from the Russians.
And did not.
And flight 71. What was it called? Flight whatever.
The Devil Wears Prada. He was just trying to like
Yeah.
That was Prada.
or
no,
Devil in a blue dress or
two,
whatever.
look,
Yeah.
Devil in a
two
blue
guns.
dress.
Look, and
Devil in a
two,
blue
In the
dress.
Book of Eli,
and two guns.
honorable
Yeah.
And John Q, he's only trying to save his son.
Yeah.
Selfish.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Listen,
Selfish.
yeah.
Deja vu. He goes back in time, but he saved.
He's
New
saving
Orleans.
just a little
Thank you.
section. He ain't saving nothing but
Will
himself.
Smith
Man on
saved-
fire. Look.
He
Man
had
on
to
fire.
recreate the Bible,
Marv.
which in
Man on fire.
turn
No. Man on
saved
fire.
the
He's
world.
saving a little white girl.
I'm not taking
Exactly. This nigga ain't never saved nothing more than a city.
He
Willard
had to
Willard
recreate
saved the
Bible,
world. You know what I'm
which
Yeah.
saying?
saved the world.
Okay, but wait. Hold on.
Hancock, he still
I
didn't save
deserve-
nothing.
Okay, wait.
Half a point.
Wait, hold on.
Nah. You can't.
I gotta go. What's
Will
the next
Smith.
topic?
It's Will Smith. That nigga had to get beat.
You gotta go.
God bless.
Will Smith saved the world.
Do this
Yeah.
little last topic real quick so I can go home.
Don Cheadle saved more niggas than Will Smith. I mean, Don Cheadle saved more niggas than Denzel.
But,
Sorry.
Oh, Don Cheadle didn't save
Wild.
nobody.
Rwanda. Hotel Rwanda.
He only saved that country. We don't even talk about the country.
I know, but that's
Where's
more than
the
Denzel.
Cheadle?
That's more than
That's
Denzel.
Avengers.
No,
He's
hold
not
on,
World
hold
More
on.
than
War.
Denzel.
Hold on. And one of the Iron Mans
Don
didn't he
Cheadle
help?
was-
Yes.
Yes, he
Yes.
helped.
Yes.
I thought- exactly. You support my point.
First time Avenger.
Don Cheadle has saved more niggas than Denzel.
But
Wow.
Tony Stark was eventually responsible for
Save-
because
Well, he's a white
without
man. He saved
no
everything.
hold on.
Yeah.
He made the suit that Don Cheadle had to wear.
made
So he's still responsible for it.
But he had to
Will
get in the
Smith
Will
Will Smith hijacked
Yeah.
an
alien ship.
alien spaceship
Oh, God.
and
with the
saved
computer
the world.
with a computer virus.
Wait. Hold on.
Listen, wait, I'm ready.
Because that was Jeff Goldblum, so he only gets a half a point for that.
No.
Here we go.
It's still better than Denzel.
No. Time out.
Y'all
Time
didn't
out.
prove me wrong.
That's wrong.
Y'all didn't
That's
prove me
wrong.
wrong.
Jeff Goldblum figured out how to
How?
engineer it.
Yes.
Will Smith is the one who had
Who had to
initial
deliver it.
interaction
He had to deliver
with
it.
the enemy
Without Jeff, he
and
wouldn't have had to
hijacked
play.
the spaceship.
I don't care about none of that.
So Will Smith
without Jeff,
The
what
Will
best
Smith.
that Denzel, and I'll leave it at this. The best
And
that
he was
Denzel,
in the
the
spaceship
best
with
that
him.
Denzel
He
ever
was,
did
too.
was save niggas in prison, felons, and Malcolm X.
It's
God
Will
bless.
Smith, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all
I'm
hate
keeping
it.
Will
my
Smith.
little book and be like half.
Next
I don't care what
topic.
you niggas
Next
do.
topic.
What's it-
Will saved the world. I'm Legend. He came up with the cure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, you're
I
proving
don't
my
care
point.
about
You're proving my
that.
point. You're proving my point.
But wait, hold on.
I am-
Hold
Don
on.
Cheadle has
iRobot.
saved more niggas than Denzel. God
For
bless.
somebody who watches a lot of movies, you should be on
I'm
point with
I'm
this.
trying to.
You
That's
can't.
what I'm like,
It's Will
do it.
Smith.
I mean,
They're making valid
not
points.
wrong, but
Will
also-
Smith.
Yeah, we
He
heard.
even-
Yo,
hold on.
yo, Marv.
He even
Marv,
saved
it's
the
done.
world.
We cooked
He
it.
even saved the
Yeah,
world
there
from
ain't
Kevin
nothing
James and
to say.
Hitch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God! First of all, Hitch was an adorable movie. I don't even like
Thanks.
rom-coms
Yo,
like
yo,
that. but
yo,
Hitch
yo,
was
yo.
He was. He was
Listen,
saving
we
love.
roasted it. We prepared it.
He was saving love for
Marv, we're done.
everybody.
We did it. We did it. It's good.
The last topic. I'm not.
She's like,
You
I'm not
sold, man.
taking this.
You're like George McKenna's story? That's what you're trying to see? No, that was just a high school.
trying to
He didn't
fix
even do that. That was Denzel. He
He's
didn't
really
even save
wrapping
the
his
school.
mind
Telling
around
you.
this.
He wasn't a superhero.
I was convinced
Who
by
else?
Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans laid it out for me. I was like, he's right. Will Smith has saved the world.
Yeah, multiple times. Ain't nobody arguing
The
that.
only
However,
one. He's a
The most he's done is save the city
The
or
Bible.
save felons.
Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cops,
Yeah.
Even including.
There's
I mean,
nothing. There's
and
nothing.
he was the
No
biggest
black-
megastar at that time, and he only got to save Beverly Hills,
And he saved him in.
and he just kept going back to Beverly Hills,
So we're saying Will
3
Smith.
times.
What
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Will Smith saves the world.
and they're making another one.
And he saved the world in Men in Black too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the Men in Black.
Actually,
A couple times.
Right,
Yeah.
a couple times.
Yeah, because there was like 3 Men in Black she was in.
There is.
Hey,
Wild.
shit, he was alive after Earth too. It wasn't that
It
good.
wasn't good, but still.
These wasn't that good, but here we are.
But he was there.
Wait, no, I'm not talking. No, hold on.
This nigga saved happiness.
Wait,
Wait.
hold on,
Will Smith
wait,
saved
hold on.
happiness. In
not-
pursuit of
I was
happiness.
about to say the same thing. Hold on.
Yo,
I was about to say the same thing.
this nigga saved America.
I was looking
Yo.
up in my head.
Yo,
I was
yo,
looking
it
at how
just
I was gonna word it. I was like, oh, pursuit of happiness.
Yo,
Oh my
this nigga-
Hold on,
God.
wait. I'm not talking movies with.
He couldn't save Jaden.
Wait. I
He
got
couldn't save Jaden. He couldn't save Jaden, but he saved the world's happiness.
I'm not talking movies with you two Negroes. 'Cause y'all don't see movies
see
at
nothing
all.
ever.
What are you talking about? I've seen all
Not
that.
you,
So
not
me and
you.
Cameron,
Oh.
Them
Because we
too.
don't be watching movies
Yeah.
for real.
I was talking about Black
Yeah.
Panther,
All the time, all over the place,
2 and
across the world.
Black Panther 2 and Everything Everywhere All at Once, and she was
She
like,
still
oh,
hasn't seen it.
She
First
still
of
hasn't
all,
seen it.
I
And
did
he
see Black
was
Panther opening weekend.
2.
The second one,
Yes, I seen that one. The first weekend, it was him. who
Wakanda
still
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember we talked about it. It was
Oh
him
yeah,
who
you're
didn't
right.
see
You're
it.
right. We did do the. We
He was
did
like,
do
don't
the.
do me. I might not have seen everything across the world all the time, all America, but I did see Black Panther too.
I don't think
I
she.
like how
Even,
you asked that follow up when you
I think she even said.
Wakanda
I don't think
Forever,
she's seen
like
like Friday After Next or something like that.
Yeah.
I did and didn't like it, but I did see it.
You didn't like
She didn't see this.
I stop.
Cam.
I don't
you
have.
drop
I don't. I don't got. I
Okay,
don't
so
got it.
She
next
didn't
topic.
see
What's the
it.
last topic?
She didn't see the color
I got
purple.
7 minutes.
She
Sorry.
didn't see the color purple.
I seen that one.
You didn't see the color purple?
Will Smith was in a he was in the cuts of The Color Purple. That's
No.
crazy. No, I'm just messing with
Wait,
you.
hold
I'm
on.
just messing with you.
Wait, hold on.
You're trying to accuse me of not seeing a bunch of
You
movies.
listen.
Continue.
Trust me.
Danny Glover saved the world.
Nope. Lethal Weapon.
And Lethal
And
Weapon was
Predator.
just that
Predator.
thing.
No.
Oh.
No.
What?
White people saved the world in Predator.
No.
Yeah.
And Predator 2, he
I
did.
can't
No,
even
no,
rock
no.
with you on that one. That don't even feel right.
Ernie Hudson saved the world
No,
in
listen.
Ghostbusters.
Come on, Ernie Hudson.
Thank
and
you.
Ghostbusters.
No, white.
New York City.
No. But hold on. He was only a quarter of the Ghostbusters. There was
He was
four
only a
of them.
quarter,
There was
exactly.
3 white men,
Oh.
1 Jewish
Exactly.
dude.
So
Yeah.
we will
You know
say
you're not
this.
gonna win at this.
Will,
right?
No,
Will,
I know.
listen. Will
Okay, I
Smith.
just wanna make
Will
sure.
And it
Smith-
wasn't a world problem. It was only a
was
Manhattan
Manhattan
problem.
problem. Okay, and that's really what it is.
Well, that was the world, though.
No.
The Ghost would
No.
have came eventually to
They
the world.
were.
Right.
That was
That
just,
wasn't that.
I
The
agree with
Michelin,
that.
the
I agree
Michelin
with
man,
that.
or the Michelin man was only in the
Yeah,
that
Manhattan.
was just a doorway.
Okay,
You gotta have a doorway
okay,
somewhere.
but even with that being said, this nigga saved happiness.
Not happy.
Once you saved happiness, you were in pursuit of
He
it and
saved
you
happiness
attained
for
it.
his own self.
No.
Remember
Listen.
that was the word
So that's
we
what I'm
used
saying. But
earlier?
you can't even battle with him after that. That's God tier.
That's not.
That
I don't
is.
got it.
Yeah, he's
Denzel
got-
only
he
be
definitely
saving
got
himself,
tier.
maybe his city,
But
maybe felons.
And
That's
he's
about
still-
it.
And
Same
Denzel
with
still
Eddie
got
Murphy,
here.
Same with
Yeah.
whoever else you
Because
did.
He saved
there's
the
only like 4 black men to
But
win an
he saved-
Oscar, and he
he
won it
saved-
twice.
he
You know what I'm
saved-
saying?
he saved Dakota
So 3
Fanning.
black men.
He saved Dakota Fanning,
Sure
which
did.
saved the city of Mexico.
Which actually, white woman, so we saved the world.
Exactly.
Come on.
You say the white woman, so you say the world. This
Wait,
nigga
let them
was
tell
in
it.
pursuit
Is
of
that what you
happiness.
just said?
This nigga was in pursuit of happiness. He was in
Oh,
Independence
no.
Day.
The captain from Deep Space Nine, he saved the world.
He saved the ship.
He saved the ship.
That saved the world.
No.
I'm
Independent.
He's trying. He's reaching. He's reaching.
The
I
last,
give you one person,
Okay.
and guess what? This one person is almost cheating.
Yes.
But Cuban Gooding Jr. in Pearl Harbor. That's about all you get from me. Now y'all
That's
couldn't
the
even think
closest.
about
That is the closest
couldn't even
nigga.
think
How we
about
saved the
it.
world? Maybe
No.
America, but not the
He
world.
saved. No. You saved
No, hold
a
on.
symbol of
Just
America.
Time out. It was called World
Oh,
War.
wait. I got a better one. Michael Clark Duncan in Armageddon.
Come on.
Saved the
Come
world.
on, friend.
He's
Come
closer
on,
than Denzel. He's
Thank
closer
you.
than Denzel. He still ain't Will Smith.
Yep. Still, definitely not.
Will
But-
Smith saved the world like 10 times, so
Yes,
can't
you
be-
can't even. He
Can't
saved
compare.
happiness. He saved the world. This nigga saved a lot. He saved America. Rumble in the Jungle.
He saved
Thriller in
love.
Manila.
He saved,
Like
saved
this
love.
nigga's a
Saved
Ali.
love with Hitch. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
Jackie Chan saved. Chris Tucker saved America. He saved America.
Come
And they
on.
saved China,
Still,
but that was
still
it.
closer.
That no, and it wasn't
Still closer
America.
than
They
Zambia.
saved L.A.
Still-
Okay,
It would have been a war
it
between.
was L.A. He
Yes,
saved
LA,
L.A.
the ports.
Yeah.
and an art exhibit. That's what they said.
Okay. Last topic. We can do the last topic, or we can do. I got one more question.
Let's do the last
Do the
topic.
last
Last
topic.
topic.
Let's do
Real
one
quick,
more
yeah.
last question.
One more last question, or
Yes.
last topic.
What's the last topic?
Y'all figure something out.
Hold on. What's the
Amber?
last topic?
I don't know. I gotta go out
The
in like 7
Mexican
minutes.
cartel.
Let's do the last topic.
Oh, the Mexican cartel.
Cartel?
Okay,
Oh,
real quick.
They
How
said
you
they're.
kidnap and give him back?
They said
I'm
they're sorry.
sorry.
They said they're sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
no.
I'm with that.
And they gave back the kidnappers.
Yeah, they turned
So
them
can
all
we
in.
can we be real about
Trying to
this?
catch it.
Why would
DLC.
What?
three niggas go with a girl for a BBL? Niggas is trying to get Fetty Wap.
Stopped right there.
No, well, all right. I'll tell you.
I think niggas is trying to get Fetty Wap,
No.
but I don't know.
No. All right. So
I'm
there's
ready.
I ain't buying that.
Looking,
it's a
looking
bunch
for,
of stuff going on. You got
that's
like
what I thought.
one, medical procedures in America.
no, they're cheaper. I'll give you
Are
that.
way too high.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we know most people who are getting these procedures are going out of the country. But if you go out of the country and you travel to some of these places, you should just be, checking the State Department's website and see what our relationship is with these places.
But wait, who does that? Wait, other than
no,
me.
no, and that's why I'm saying it.
Sounds too much
That's
like
why I'm
Frank.
saying it, because people don't know that.
That's a very responsible
Yeah, like we're
No,
you
but,
guys.
but people don't know
yeah,
that, and
it's
so
like-
people are going to because that
Yeah,
place,
facts, yeah.
that place isn't a place that has a very strong relationship with the United States
100%.
and the reform of what's going on there. It's a highly trafficked cartel place, and all those type of things. And like they said, it was mistaken identity that eventually that didn't go as far as it could have. Two people did lose their lives, but all four of those people could have lost their life. All for a
100%.
tummy tuck. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it was.
So.
No, that's what it was.
No,
It's
the
for
way
a
you
tummy
said that, I
tuck.
need you to like reword.
No, because that's what it was for.
That's,
Let's
no,
go.
I
And-
know
and
it's for
so,
that, but I'm
like,
just saying like
it's a lot of things
don't-
that go into it. The girl wanted to go. Her mother told her she didn't want her to go. There's a lot of things. So there's a lot of red flags that happen that they ignore. But my thing with the cartel is, they could have did one or two things. They could have hit those dudes and sent them on the run. You know what I'm saying? And hit them somewhere deep down Central South America. Yet they took justice in their own hands, like these organizations should do. You know what I'm saying? And they turned those people into authorities because they're saying we have no place for that because they know the heat that they take when you kill American civilians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like we ain't got no place for that over here. We kill people that are against the cartel or part of other cartels. That's what we do. And like I said, they thought they were Haitian drug lords. So that's what their target was. And once they realized that they were wrong, the cartel's like, we ain't got nothing to do with this
My
shit.
bad. Here you
Yeah,
go.
These dudes went rogue. Here you go.
Exactly. PSA. I want to do these two things. So Americans, like you said, checking the relations. So the Sinaloa cartel and there's a bunch of different cartels. They have battles with each other. So if you had watched just enough news, which niggas don't like watching news sometimes, and I don't mean you listening to who Charleston White is going after next. I'm talking about people don't listen to enough news. You would know that there is a battle within the cartels, and like you said, a bunch of people are doing wild stuff, saying, "Hey, I'm part of these guys over here," and so that's what happened. But people need to definitely look at what's going on when things are going on so that you know when it's safe to go and happen. The other thing is this too. If a culture has a mythology or a story or some types of traditions around death, you don't need to be there without doing research.
Yeah.
They have something called Dia de los Muertos because there's so much death here and we're so acquainted to mortality that we actually have to have a day that's associated with us remembering the people who have passed on and gone. That means that death to them don't weigh like death to
But
us.
we
So
have
you-
conditioned
yeah,
minds. So
yeah.
just think about it.
So we need to do better about researching.
How often here do we see media about like kidnappings? When we hear that stuff,
Yeah.
it's like rare. You're like,
No,
oh
no,
my
it's
God.
it's
like,
rare.
You know what I'm saying? Like we had when they tried to kidnap like a governor or something like that. There was a plot to the governor of Michigan wasn't there or something like that. Like
Which
you
is
see
why,
that,
which is why
and,
this is
and
a
you're
PSA.
like yes, and you're like that's wild.
That's wild.
That should go happen every day over there.
So that's why I'm saying, like, as a PSA to Americans, is like,
But we
it's
don't-
different over there.
But
Y'all
we don't
gotta
get-
watch.
No, ain't nobody about to be watching Telemundo. Trying to figure out. No,
that's
what I'm saying. No,
Plus
we live in a
it's-
desensitized.
Telemundo is amazing.
No, I'm not saying it
I
isn't.
know. He's
Plus,
saying, but no, we're not going
insurance,
to
kidnap insurance over there is common. It's like
No,
It's,
Yeah.
it's common. Yes, it's
insurance,
common.
Yeah.
like-
That's
thing, yeah.
wild.
Yeah,
like
and-
car
It's
insurance,
not a
yeah.
common
Yeah.
thing over
And,
there.
and
No,
so,
no.
so
No,
so
no.
the
They
thing
don't
is,
have insurance.
No,
like
it's not
that over
insurance.
there?
No,
Kidnap
it's
insurance?
money. It's about money. It's not insurance
Huh?
like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
I was getting-
kidnap insurance. That's what Denzel taught us.
Yo.
Really?
So we're-
Why are we back here? I wasn't talking about
I
that.
was just like,
Dakota
Yeah.
family had,
No,
they had a security guard, so they had kidnap insurance.
I'm just
And you
gonna
see
say-
how easy that messed up, right? Like,
Yeah, he hasn't saved the world enough.
Yeah,
apparently.
I'm just gonna say
That's what he has to say. Apparently.
No, not
it's,
at all.
it's as simple as going to the State Department's website
exactly.
and telling them where you're going.
And that's the PSA.
What we do is we
gotta
travel
get
out of
memes
the
on more than
country.
just memes.
Yeah, we travel out of
Facts.
the country, and we don't even know the stability of these places that we go to. We're just doing it for Instagram and social media now, right? And so, like,
that's
people are.
not the only reason.
That's the only reason because
No, that's,
no,
don't
no,
travel
because
just
Wait,
no,
because
time
of
out,
that. Stop
time
blaming
out,
everything
time
on
out,
social media.
time out,
'Cause you
time
would-
out. The reason
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that is because if you even look at statistics before social media, people didn't travel as frequently like that.
Right, but
Now,
they
no,
did
no,
before, right?
no.
So it's
People
not
are
all
going
for
into
that.
debt.
It's a little
People,
reason,
no,
probably.
majority of the people. They already did the statistics. You can go look at it yourself. Majority of people are going into debt to show themselves in places
Okay,
that
I
other
hear
people
that.
cannot be at. So yes, it is for social media. It is not for the enjoyment because reality, if you're going into debt, you're probably stressed about it more than often. You're only happy when the camera's on. And so people are doing the photo op to show that my life is better than yours when it really isn't. And that is the implosion of social media. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. I get that.
And it's no, like, and of course, you know, it's not everybody every time, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a
Like,
majority,
people
yeah.
that don't like you said, the traveling has gone up.
Yeah.
And
all because everybody wants to babysit their drink and get multiple pictures with it.
And I'll ask a question.
You got the Shanika Robinson.
I have a question.
The Shanika Robinson
Yeah, no,
chick
okay, but
that,
let me-
that died in
okay,
Cabo.
Okay, so this thing. Let me ask
Those
a
people,
question.
they just wanted to be
If
in
I ask,
Cabo.
if I ask you two
It's
places,
a bunch
in-
of niggas in Cabo. You see what happened.
This is the thing. I'm gonna ask you, what two places do you know that are in Mexico? Two cities or territories that are in Mexico right now?
I just know
Everybody.
Tijuana
Michoacan
and
and Guadalajara.
Jalisco.
No, not you
and-
because you've driven up and down.
I'm talking about-
I'm not saying you
I
do
was
the
just
bricks or
gonna
not,
say,
but
I was
Okay.
Tijuana,
Tijuana,
Jalisco,
what do you guys?
but, I
Let's go.
mean,
Yeah, those things.
Okay, you know what? You know the two places that come off the top of my head from social media, where everybody's been. Every girl's wanted to go to Tulum,
Yeah.
and every girl's wanted. Like I know past.
But you know
girlfriends that
why?
were told- Because of social media.
No.
Tulum.
That's because of Nipsey.
Hilarious.
But
No, you
I've
want to
seen
be
it on social
no. If you
media.
want to be
Found
no.
on
If you want to be
social
real,
media.
if you
Yeah.
want to be real
That's how I
about it,
saw
after
it.
Nipsey died, everybody started to listen to Nipsey a lot more, and Nipsey talked a lot about his trip to the Mayan temples, to Tulum, and all that type of stuff.
A lot
I'll
of people went to
guarantee you,
Tulum.
if you look
I
at the
know 6 chicks
statistics,
who've been to Tulum.
I guarantee you, if you look at the statistics since he died, how many people have probably traveled there? It's probably astronomical,
Yeah.
like astronomical, because of he talked about the eye
Everybody used to
opening,
go to Cabo.
the
Everybody used to go to
experience.
Cabo. Everybody used to go to Tijuana. But now, like, I
Exactly.
hear mad
Cancun.
chicks.
Don't forget about
Exactly.
Cancun.
Yeah, Cancun used to be
Yeah.
a huge one back in like.
Yeah.
But why?
2000.
But why? Because MTV and
And- but the
BET
thing,
and
like,
all those type of
now,
things, they were showing
They were
those. They were showing
those
people
back then,
there.
and now the Tulum was about
Yeah.
that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I got.
You're
on
right.
it. It's definitely
BBLs too.
no 100%.
BBLs
BBL.
is- BBLs is all over.
All
Costa
over.
Rica, fucking all
Philly,
types of
Philly,
stuff.
Colombia,
Philly,
Miami.
Philly.
I could tell because I'm looking to get a tummy tuck, so I already know all the spots.
Philly.
But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
I think you made a good point in that people go to these other countries to get these surgeries done because
They wanna look cute.
They want to look
It's
cute
true.
for less money. But if you were going to do it and you knew you wanted to be safe and you knew you wanted to have no problems and you wanted to also be able to sue somebody if something did happen, you wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You would do it here.
But just think about it. 2 men lost their lives, and 2 people have a traumatic experience for the rest of their lives, and she still didn't even get the tummy tuck.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Dang.
I mean, that's not
That's
everybody's
wild.
No,
journey
but-
though, when
but-
they're going to do
no, but
stuff
but,
like that.
but
It
that's
sucks.
the
They
example.
obviously
But that's the
had-
example of trying
they-
to be careful about where you're going.
Well, absolutely.
to do
but
these
I'm
things.
saying
And-
we can't keep putting the hand in hand
No,
on. Oh,
no.
don't go get a
I'm
BBL.
also
Don't
talking
go get a
about-
tummy tuck
well,
because
it's even-
you
Oh,
may
they're gonna
get
get-
Time out.
you
Time
may
out. Time out.
They're gonna
Time
still
out.
get
you
it.
Time
may
out.
get
Time out.
kidnapped.
Time
Like,
out.
no,
Not
you-
about
time
just
out.
kidnap.
Let me speak.
No, you might
Like,
die on the emergency
that's
table.
not- Yeah, that's
You might die on the table.
that is
It's-
a higher chance
it's more.
than them
It's,
getting kidnapped.
it's a very fatal.
That's my point.
It's a very fatal procedure.
Right,
So
it is.
going to a country that doesn't even have the resources that we
You
have.
don't know that actually.
If
In
you didn't do the
fact-
research.
Yeah, I was gonna say. In fact, actually, people don't think that other countries have more resources in the medical field. They actually do.
But you had to do the
They
research
actually
though. But you just
do.
going across the border, like how they went,
Right,
and I gotta
to
have
Tijuana or
three
something,
niggas.
yeah,
with
There's
you need
very
to make
few
sure that it's a
places that
facility.
have the medical resources that of
If you
America
don't
Okay,
go-
has.
very
if you
few,
don't-
but
yeah.
not.
That's what I'm
None.
saying. But when you look at where people are going, they're not just going to these very few places because some of these very few places are still charging because they know they're one of the very few places with the resources. So people are going to places that don't have the resources, that aren't as sterile. That's why the fatality rates are so high.
And that's
That's
a
the truth of it. We're not
possibility.
going to play it to
But
the other side.
kidnapping
But-
is
but-
not
yeah.
go hand in
No,
hand.
No,
no,
that
100%,
doesn't.
yeah,
That
100%.
doesn't.
Absolutely not.
That
But
doesn't.
Which is the
death
P-
rate,
which is-
yeah.
That's a whole nother
This is-
issue. That's understanding the
Which-
relationships we have with these
This
places.
thing, which is the PSA of do your research, please.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be doing something to
Yeah.
your body or going somewhere, which is also has to do with your body, there's been
Yeah.
too much stuff that's happened for you
When
not to do
Yeah.
research.
Shoot,
I
one
just
of
use the
y'all
tummy
can
tuck.
be the example of
I just
taking
use
one
the
of my
tummy-
eye or leg or
Yeah.
my arm.
I just use the tummy tuck because I put it to you like this:
Yeah.
if they were going there for vacation,
Yeah.
at least they were in Mexico.
Yeah.
So if you went to Mexico, you say, "Well, we went on vacation and we were there, and this was our experience."
Yeah.
When you go there for a procedure,
Yeah.
people die.
Yeah.
You're traumatized because you've been kidnapped by a cartel, and now you still didn't get the procedure.
Listen,
That's the
No,
part that
that's-
sucks.
that's
Can you
what I'm
imagine-
saying.
Can you imagine if you had
So
one-
don't let's not act like it's a
Cam,
negative
listen, though.
blowback on the procedure.
Hold on
I'm
a
saying
second.
that you went through all this trouble to get a procedure that now
Yes.
you cannot get,
Listen.
and you're probably not going to get because
Ain't
the
nobody
experience
gonna
you
go
had
with
was
me.
way more traumatic
Listen,
than getting the procedure.
This is how I see it.
It's not
because
worth it.
I've
Just go to
been doing
Silver
my
Dollar.
research. I would
Somebody
much
do it.
rather go to Mexico for the $8,000 than Bellevue for the $25,000 to do the same exact procedure and same exact type of facilities.
or
I will-
Riverside
and I will-
Riverside
and I will
Riverside
tell
Get
you-
a
for-
vacation
I
out
would
of
tell you
15.
just to pop in a J. Cole CD and understand that nobody's perfect and understand God's gift. He made you the way he made
He
you.
said no.
But
But you're perfect.
That's
for
all I'm
me.
saying. If you ain't happy with this is what people don't understand.
Right. If
No,
I'm
no,
not
time out.
happy with-
Time out.
with
This is what
my
people don't
stomach,
understand.
so I want to get
But
rid
this
of
is what
it.
people don't understand.
He said
And this is
nobody.
why they tie psychological to these procedures. Because it doesn't change your psychology. It just changes your outer appearance. It doesn't change the inside of you.
You
know what I'm
do
saying?
know, right?
No,
No, that's
no.
not,
And so what they
if
were trying to
anybody
say is,
thinks that they're going to get surgery to change their inner person, then
Well, we
that,
started
that's
seeing-
no.
insane.
Now I can get that
But
high
your
value.
vision
No,
of
what I'm
yourself
gonna tell you, when we
and
look
how
at
you think
we
of
look at the
yourself is
style,
important.
when you look at the
Is that the
statistics of
size
people who
of
do
the
like
body?
gastro bypass and stuff like that, like the thing is like you may have a procedure and it may make your stomach smaller. It doesn't change the way you eat if you're not changing those habits.
Right.
And that's why you see a lot of people who
Now
they
I can
they
charge
they
more on
break
OnlyFans.
or no and all these other things,
But
right?
a lot of people
Because that's
aren't
it.
just big because they're
No,
eating a lot.
I'm not
Or
saying that's
it's
not what
just
I'm
because
saying.
of bad genetics,
Yeah.
or it could be because they've had 5 C-sections.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I never
It
said
could
that.
be
I said
anything.
God's gift, right? And
Right.
so to
When
this
you
point,
have it within your power to change it.
and
If
does
you get a gastric
I'm telling you,
bypass,
but if it
then
doesn't
make sure
change-
you follow the regulations.
but if it
so you
doesn't
don't
change
gain
your
the weight back.
mentality, what
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
But that's
what?
what I'm saying. You
But
have
like I
to
said,
be able
now
to
I
change
can
that.
charge more on OnlyFans.
Yeah,
And that's what it's
and this
about.
thing,
And
and
if
this
it-
thing.
but that
Because now I
doesn't-
can charge more for it.
You
now I can
have to
actually
be able to
sell tummy
change those
tucks.
Yes.
regulations
That's
to
what
do
it's
that.
Yes,
about.
but money doesn't change anything because
I
we see
agree.
people with the most money kill themselves.
All the
Yeah.
time.
So let's not
understand.
correlate money to
I'm
happiness.
telling you the logic behind the
At the same time, you can't equate looks to happiness because I think some of the people who
Yeah, no,
probably
you
who probably
shouldn't.
spent the most to look the best are the most shallow
Yeah.
people.
Right,
Right. And so
Raggedy.
the thing is you have there's a character there's a character building and not being and not looking like
I
the
agree
world
with that.
wants you to look.
But who cares about the world? Okay.
So
Some
wait,
people
what
just don't do it for the world, they do it for
what are the
themselves.
That's
the
what I'm
poets?
saying.
I think
This
the
is what
poet.
happens.
I
is
think
we're
the
starting
poet
to
said
see
they
people
said
lose
you
their
can
lives
change your
because they
hair,
wanna
but
look
it won't
different.
grow.
I agree
Yes.
to that.
You can
I'm just saying people.
you
a
can
lot of
put
people
on
losing
all
their-
the makeup, but that can't make you
Yeah.
pretty.
Right.
Yeah.
You just have to look inside
You need to
And
look.
also, I am
Pop on some
Yeah.
India. Pop on some India Irie and some J Cole, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Really?
Yes.
That's all you
No.
need.
Yes.
You just need a playlist.
Absolutely not.
No.
I'm okay with
Believe
myself.
me, I got a crooked smile. I could have taken.
Wait, yo.
Anyway, you can do.
I got a crooked smile.
Okay, last question. Last question.
I'm just saying, I got a crooked smile. Like I ain't trying to change that. You feel me? That's my character. You know what I'm saying? It makes me. I used to think about it. What would I look if I got my teeth? I don't even like the image. I'm like, well, I'm staying who I am.
We have to appreciate that. This nigga
I'm
took
just
my
who I am.
TLC reference and brought it into J. Cole and said crooked
This is
smile.
real shit. I'm being real.
Last question.
Oh, man.
All the black movies from the 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Amber's disqualified. You can't do that.
Yo. That's what you got from talking crazy about me earlier.
That's what you guys don't get for talking crazy about me earlier.
I'm gonna say it's not fair.
All the black,
It's not fair.
All the black movies, you got to delete 3. What are you
that's
deleting? 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s.
I gotta delete 3 movies.
You got to delete 3.
What's Brewster's house or whatever that is?
Brewster's Place.
There we go. That gotta go.
That can go.
I've never seen it.
I will say I'll delete. This is something that you guys might not want to delete.
Tales from the
Delete
Hood.
Juice.
Tales from the Hood can go too.
Tales from the Hood can go. And Leprechaun in the Hood can go too.
I don't
Leprechaun in the Hood?
I don't
Yeah.
You know what can go to?
Yo.
Marlon and that little baby thing.
You talking about Little Man?
Make
Little
that thing
Man.
go away, okay?
Nah.
That's just creepy as
You said Little Man?
Yeah, is that the one where he's literally like the little baby with his face on?
You're
I'm like,
wildin'.
You're wildin'.
You're
You're wild.
wildin'.
I can't get with you on
You're
that.
wildin'.
Okay, so Brewster's
Really?
Place.
The only reason I
Whack.
say Leprechaun in the Hood is because the production was
Oh.
bad and the writing was terrible.
Look, I can get rid of Fresh. Fresh, have you guys seen Fresh before?
No.
I can get rid of Fresh.
Why would you
I can get rid of Fresh.
Yeah,
I can get rid of
was
Fresh.
good.
And what's the other one?
Why you say juice? Who said juice? Why you
I
say
said
that?
juice
No, he
too.
said
I said
Why
juice.
is that your reasoning?
Bro, you're disrespectful.
You're allowed to think that. I'm just asking. What, I
No,
just
he's
think
not.
I just think you're. I
It
just think
wasn't.
He's not.
I know Juice and Fresh. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
that's
Check
what
this
I'm
out. Check this
Is that
out.
Fresh Juice?
Black people aren't monolithic, but on Juice and Fresh we are. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Their president.
No, which
You're
is
saying-
it's crazy. I'm getting kickback from someone who may have not have seen the movie. It's somewhere in my soul.
Just seen it. Okay. I'm gonna
I
need
don't.
you to
Okay,
give a
just
little
on some
credit.
real stuff.
I'm getting rid of the Wiz.
We're done.
What?
We're done.
I
Wait,
put
wait.
That in
I'm-
the
You
show.
can
What?
win.
You're done, Trey.
I'm throwing
Can't
the
get
Wiz. I'm like,
even. You can't get
What?
out
The
again.
I can get rid
Wiz.
of Temptation because also.
What?
Wow.
I'm gonna agree with you.
Stop looking at her. Yo, Kendra, Marv, don't
said
look at her.
Really?
Yeah,
Don't look at her.
Beyonce
Don't
does.
look at her.
Beyonce
Don't look at her.
Beyonce
Oh,
can't
you
act.
talking about that Temptation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fighting
Like
Temptation.
that one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm
okay,
with that.
I'll
I'm
give
with
you
that. I'm
I'll
with
give you
that.
I'll give you
I'm with that. I'm with that. No,
I
no, I'm
thought
with
you were
that.
talking about the
I'll give you that.
Temptation.
I thought she was
Oh,
talking
no,
about
not
Temptation.
No, there's no
Me too.
Temptation
Don't
too.
even look at her. Don't look
Yeah,
at her.
no.
Beyonce can't
Oh
act.
no, I was burning
Me
a
too, me
hole
too.
through it with
Okay,
my eyes.
yeah,
You
yeah.
said
No,
Temptation.
you
Yeah,
can't.
no,
You
that's
can't get rid
Oh,
of.
this ain't nobody coming here to see you.
Yeah. No, I'm like, I thought she was talking about that.
too.
I'm like, oh,
That's
she's
funny.
wilding.
I gotta get rid of Soul
Plane.
Plane.
I use.
I can get with
I
I
agree.
can get with you on that.
Yeah.
I can get with you on
I
that.
can get with you.
I have
on that.
mixed feelings
Soul
about
Plane's
Soul
You
Plane.
can.
I have mixed
Soul
feelings.
Plane
I need
can,
my
Oh
Yeah.
no, I got you another one. It's another Kevin Hart, Paper Soldiers.
can go.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yes,
I don't know.
Paper Soldiers was whack.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I'll get rid of Belly. We're getting rid of Belly.
We're all
Okay.
walking out on you right now.
I
We're getting
can't.
rid of
No.
Belly.
I can't even do Belly. Not even that I like Belly.
Anybody watch the broadcast anymore?
Belly.
Block the camera.
Belly.
I just stand right in front
We're
of
gonna
it.
send Belly
I
to the
can't.
moon.
The reason I can't even get rid of Belly, I didn't even really appreciate it. Super.
You're gonna be the
as a
first
movie.
person in history to get lynched by black people.
Yeah.
You'll be the first black man to get lynched by black
He
people.
said the
my
Wiz.
God,
He said the
stop
Wiz and Belly. That's a lot.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
wilding.
And Belly.
He's
Wiz
wilding.
is a sleeper. I
Yeah.
sleep on that.
He probably want to pour ranch all over him.
Oh, Yeah, just whitewash it. I respect
And
it.
Cause he obviously liked the white Dorothy.
Exactly,
You
you
know what I'm
did.
saying?
Wizard, this nigga like the Wizard of
You know what I'm
Oz.
saying?
He didn't like none of the musical
That's
elements.
hilarious.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
the real Munchkins.
Yeah.
What's your third one?
Didn't even know that the white Dorothy was a Virgo.
what's the third?
My third one's Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins.
Roscoe Jenkins?
What?
No, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't get with you. I like you. You're as a person, but I can't.
I can hear that.
Yeah, but I can't.
Yeah.
I actually agreed with everything you said until now, Mike.
I mean,
Yeah.
it just wasn't.
Roscoe? That was a classic. Martin Lawrence.
You know, I don't, what's the Tyler Perry movie, the Family Reunion? With
Can
Ciara?
go.
Now you can talk about.
Yeah, you
there's
can-
a lot of Tyler
there's
Perry
a lot of
movies
Tyler
that
Perry
can go.
movies.
I mean, we can
There's a lot of
go.
Tyler Perry
I
movies.
think we got a
You know what?
problem in the
Check this out.
No,
Check
No,
this
no,
out.
not all of
Hold on.
them. Not all
Hold
of
on.
them. Listen,
No,
listen,
no,
listen,
no, no,
listen.
no, no.
Wait.
All of them.
Nah,
Check this out. No,
Daddy's
no.
Little Girls, Diary of Mad Black Woman,
What?
and
Why'd I
Daddy's
get
Little
married?
Girls.
Why'd I get married? 1 and 2.
Why'd I
I
get
actually
married?
really
No,
enjoyed.
no.
Check this out.
I
I
really
will
enjoyed
sacrifice.
those.
Can I say?
I will sacrifice those four for the rest of his catalog
Okay,
because the
come
rest of
on.
his catalog
okay.
is trash. So if you had to take those
I'll
four because we had to take Tyler Perry, I'm good with
Oh,
that.
okay.
I'm
We can agree
fine
with
with
that.
that
Because
because.
those ones were actually good ones.
Those are, yeah.
And guess what? Kevin Hart may think like a man. I
Daddy's
can
Little Girls
kind of
was cute.
I can kind of mirror that with
Okay.
how to why did I
was
get
gonna
married?
say,
You know
Don't
what's
throw those
safe?
away.
You know what's safe?
What?
Pootie Tang.
Always,
yeah.
all day.
And-
No.
Dirty
You know
D.
what's safe?
Dirty D.
You know what's safe? Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yes,
Vampire in
yes.
Brooklyn, yes.
Head of State is safe too.
Head of State is 100% safe.
You ever seen the Wolfman to the 25th power? That's my shit, bro.
Head of
That's my
State-
shit,
Head of
John
State.
Witherspoon. That was my shit.
What's that movie with Holly Perry?
Next
or Holly
Friday.
Perry?
Next Friday.
Boomerang?
Next
No,
Friday.
not Boomerang.
Next Friday can go
Next
as well.
Friday can go.
Next Friday can
Next
go.
Friday.
Next
can
Friday
can
can
go.
go.
Mike Epps saved that movie for me.
What?
Mike
Next
Epps
Friday.
Pinky?
Next Friday
No.
can go.
Oh yeah,
Pinky.
that's why I can't get rid of it.
What?
That's why I can't.
Can go.
Pinky and Mike Epps
What's
saved
that
that.
one with Holly Berry?
Oh,
Which
Baps.
Can go.
Baps.
No, Baps can't go.
Babs is actually.
Babs is not
I
going.
liked Babs. That shit was
Black
ratchet.
African
Which one
American
were you
people.
talking about? That's the one you wanted?
No,
Babs?
no, it wasn't Babs. She's in it by herself. It's not.
Oh, I
it's
know
not
what
the
you're
baby
talking about.
one,
She's
but
like she's a
crackhead.
crackhead
other-
and she's got kids.
Oh, losing
Oh,
Isaiah.
Losing
No,
Isaiah.
not
No,
losing
no.
Isaiah.
Not
We're
Losing
keeping
Isaiah.
losing.
Oh,
We're keeping losing
Monsters
Isaiah.
Ball.
That's not a black movie.
Say that again.
Monsters Ball.
That's not a black
It's
movie.
not a black movie.
I wouldn't call that
Yeah, I
black.
wouldn't call him out.
I wouldn't call that a
She's a
black
crackhead.
movie.
I mean, she was
Oh,
getting.
Oh,
She was
but
getting
is
banged
that-
by Billy Bob
is that the
Thornton in
one
Monsters
with,
Ball.
yeah.
with Samuel Jackson is the crackhead too? You're talking about.
No, that's a losing Isaiah.
No, you're talking about.
She's in a crackhead in more than one movie.
She's been.
You're
lost a
talking
kid
about.
more than once, too.
You're talking
Yes.
about. Wesley Snipes.
The way you drop
Jungle Fever.
She was on Jungle Fever.
I think
Yeah,
so. I think that. Yeah, her.
I have no
It's
idea
been
what
mad
you're
years
talking
since I've watched that movie.
Holly Berry was in Jungle Fever.
Really?
Yeah,
She may have been.
She was
Yeah.
a crackhead with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
She was. That was
What
her.
movie are you talking about?
In
But
Jungle
that's not
Fever?
it.
Yeah.
She was the main character though on this one, and I thought
And she was
that
a
movie
crackhead?
was trash, but I can't remember the name of it.
But
Okay,
the-
now you're gonna have me going
Yeah,
through Netflix.
that's why I'm like,
Figure it
shit.
Now you can put that in the
Um,
group chat. I'll read that message.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
because I check it every day. It just also be on
I'm-
D&D.
She do be checking it.
I
I'm-
don't care when
y'all
I
know-
I chime in occasionally.
The
When
thing
I
is,
tag,
we
with
know
your
who's
name
checking
and
it
you don't
because you
respond?
see the
You
icon.
see the scene?
Yeah.
You can see the icon. Oh, they looked at it. You could tell who looked at it.
But the
That's
thing
also
is,
on D&D.
but the thing is, I be tagging you guys for response.
no, it's-
Okay,
I put your
you be
name.
okay. Listen,
the
you
villain.
put stuff in there and it says unavailable. I'll be trying to click and participate, but it'd be saying unavailable.
Yeah.
Really?
Not all the
Yeah.
time, but this last one did.
This
I
last,
did see that.
the last couple times you posted in there, I tried to click on something and it said unavailable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Kendra would just be
Yeah.
asking too many questions.
I just ask questions.
Jeez, are you guys gonna come to the concert?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
I said yeah. Like
you responded.
No,
These
I
two
no,
did not.
I don't
First
always
of all,
respond
still
because
needed
I
a
be
response.
busy.
Here's
I don't
my
always
thing.
respond.
Yeah, yeah.
She saw it
Is
though.
it in Seattle?
I'm
Well,
sorry that I
Well,
over
then there's the
communicate.
answer.
No, my
that shit wasn't even in.
It was in
That shit
Seattle.
wasn't.
So then why did you ask? What did you need to
But we-
Because you need to get your ass outside.
But
of
we can
Tacoma.
get out of here. Thank y'all so much.
That's fine.
I'm tuning into Black Pew Podcast. We'll see y'all next
I live
week.
in Pew. Why you
Peace.
not in
All right,
Seattle?
peace.